Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the zoo. Welcome to the minions of the zoo, rather. And tonight, I guess it's just going to be the zoo because we're the minions, so welcome to see us. So the minions with me tonight are Adam.
Hello.
Sora Luna.
Good evening.
Traveling Exhibit, GabbyGeeWhizz.
Hello, everybody.
And of course, as it is a Friday, once again, I'm the keeper this evening, Sanguine. How are all of you doing tonight?
Fantastic.
Hold on, Sora, is that your actual avatar?
It's ma'am.
Oh, okay.
Well, I may have been told that
You're a ma'am?
you told you were asking Gabby how it felt like for her to be the first lady on Sanguine's night.
Hold on, wait.
So
Hold on.
obviously, I have
Hold on.
to I have to remind you that it's ma'am. So, you know.
Wait, are you serious?
Nope, you did that last week, Adam.
No, are you serious?
And
You asked Gabby
you know,
how it felt
so,
to
I
be
mean-
the first woman on one of my nights.
And while it may be true, I just feel like it's, you know, in this day and age, Adam, you should be more sensitive. So I'm just reminding you gently.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's current year, don't you know?
That expression seems kind of forceful, so I don't know. Gently.
Gentle nudge.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Gentle nudge, toss
With my
down the
fist.
video game display rack, and
Hey, you know what? To be honest, you should look at that as an honor because I didn't see it as a male or female type of thing. I saw it as
He's
a
gender
neutral-
I don't see
I-
gender.
I'm gender blind. Okay, I saw it as it was. You know, we're compadres, right? Or compadrexes.
Do not say comrade or I will kick you in the shit.
Ah, son of a bitch. Okay, that was good. That you caught me off guard. I'll give you that. Oh man. All I can say is, you know what? I'm not gonna change my avatar. But
I like your avatar.
I will get you back. Because
Man's
you
on
know
a
what?
mission.
Yeah, well, you drew first blood. So,
I believe I parried and drew second, sir.
whoa, okay, well, if you want in on this,
it was clearly a riposte.
whose post?
Your post.
Not mine.
Is that one of the names of one of your videos, Sora?
Your post?
The riposte. Whose post? Your post.
The
Which
thick
one?
one.
Wait a minute.
So, Gabby, you aren't completely read into the running joke when it comes to Sora, I don't believe.
I don't think so.
Which is,
I have
Sora
a
has-
prolific porn career, Gabby.
yes, Sora has
Hot.
a rather extensive filmography in adult films, is the running joke. Either
David.
as the production team behind it, or as one of the actresses within. We aren't quite sure which one. But if something ever comes across as a bit of, you might have a snigger about it later, the proper response is, so which film was that, Sora?
I'm well into hundreds of volumes at this point.
And it
Yeah.
dates all way back to Betamax.
We've
The
got it's
Betamax
like
wars.
You know, like Harlequin romance, there's like subgenres within the publishing house. It's gotten to that point. I have seasonal specials. I have special interest. I have
Several foreign parodies.
There was that one Star Wars special that came out. I don't know where that came from.
and it's all there somewhere. A random American kindly was keeping a list of it about a year or so back. I think it got
Nice.
overwhelming.
Yep. But yes, that's the running joke, and that's the explanation for the... Was that one of your titles, by any chance?
It's usually yes. Because it has to be.
Yep. Sora has definitely channeled the Australian aspect of just always, yep, it is, and completely go with it, don't look back, don't question it, just roll on through without any questions, despite not being from Australia and not living in Australia. She's hung out with enough of them.
On Minions alone. Through
Yep.
Minions alone. Yeah. Yeah, you kind of... You know, I was going to stop myself from saying something, but I'll say it anyway. I was going to say they really rub off on you.
Do we need to call HR?
So, Sora, you know the question already.
Oh, that's just a Saturday night. That's not even a video.
So it would be more like the special features, maybe. Or is it
The
the
DVD
after filming
extras.
party?
The DVD extras.
The special edition.
Yeah.
No, that just sounds like someone brought in a little chromosome smuggler for that.
What?
The
Nani?
special edition.
Oh.
And if you've
Oh,
never heard...
that's terrible. No.
I was just waiting for people to get it interned.
Oh, no.
Like, here I'm muted so I could crunch on ice. And I was just like, where's the button?
Yep. My favorite term for that is still chromosome smuggler. It is...
I
It's
mean-
a fantastic term that is not used enough.
What?
A little chromosome smuggler is a just over the top ridiculous to the point of hilarious term for someone with one of the trisomies or tetrasomies. So, for instance, trisomy 21, Down syndrome, a little chromosome smuggler. You can also have other tetrasomies and trisomies, or rather other trisomies, and you can have some tetrasomies, which are all birth defects. And she chews on ice when she has producer's block. Okay. But yes.
Listen, Johnny, it's hard, okay? It's hard and difficult. It takes a long, long time to come up with these things.
Or just
You gotta keep it in your mouth for a little while, okay? It's what helps me
Okay,
get through the
Sora.
creative process.
Sorry.
Yes.
Which one is you have to keep it in your mouth for a little while?
It's the dentist special.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Brushing your teeth in an entirely different manner. So,
I'm gonna say, gargle it later.
Oh.
I'm trying to remember which anime it was. There was this terrible, I mean, by terrible, it was like a toothbrush scene that they made lewd. It's just like, you're just brushing a bitch's teeth.
I
What?
know exactly which one you're talking about. It's the brother and sister. And
Oh,
they
hold
just...
on. Hold on. I thought I thought this was a family type of
This is
show.
because it is not going where it sounds like it's going.
Well, I
because this
don't
is an
know
anime
where
that's a
this is
slice of
going.
life anime, not
I
a
don't think that
hentai.
makes it any better, to be
But-
honest. but
It's a brother and sister that just constantly fuck with each other, so they give different dares to the other one. So it's like, I dare you to go talk to so-and-so, knowing that the person's ridiculously stressed out about it, or doing shit like that. And one of them is, I dare you to let me brush your teeth. And it's the older brother brushing the sister's teeth, knowing that she finds it fucking weird the entire time and just finding it hilarious.
Hey, so do you remember when we were going to talk about what you were cooking for dinner?
Oh, yes. If we want to go from...
Well, I don't know.
Very,
Hold on.
very
Wait,
nice
wait.
segue right there.
Yeah, well, now that I think about it,
Transition.
that was probably not the best segue. Damn it.
Well, one way or another, it's transitioning from putting something in your mouth to transitioning to putting something in your mouth. So
You're a good wingman.
Wow.
when it comes to what I'm making for dinner tonight, I'm just having a pork shoulder steak that I'm currently searing off in a screaming hot cast iron skillet just in the other room. I have a small pot of water going that is currently boiling up the potatoes that I'm going to be having for tonight's dinner. And those, once they are parboiled, I'll pull them out, put them in the same cast iron skillet after patting them dry, so I can get nice, beautiful golden brown crisp on all the faces of the potatoes. I have some Cosmic Crisp apples, a couple of them that I've sliced up and de-seeded, that I will be sauteing up with a little bit of red onion. So throw the red onion in, let it go translucent, throw in the slices of Cosmic Crisp apples, watch them, but don't toss them a lot because you want them to get caramelized without going past and starting to burn. So you get it caramelized on one face, you turn it, get it caramelized on the other, then splash in a bit of whiskey, a bit of red wine vinegar, toss that in the red onion together, ends up as this amazing little side dish, especially with pork. Apple and pork, match made in fucking heaven. And then the potato will be finished off with just some butter and some garlic. So I get these nice pan-fried potatoes with buttery garlic goodness and a nice crispy skin. Should be fantastic.
Lovely.
Definitely sounds like it.
Yo, yeah, it sounds delicious. Especially those onions.
It's not even the fourth or the first anymore, Adam.
What?
It's not even the first anymore.
Huh?
April 1st.
Because you're saying that even those onions sound delicious.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, well, I've
Turned over a new leaf.
yeah, I've round the bend, so to speak, I guess. Yeah, turn the leaf.
So if you've turned over a new leaf,
peeled
what's
a
the
new
current
layer, have you?
strength?
I've that's-
Like an ogre.
get out of here.
He was willing to joke around, but that went a step
yeah,
too far.
you've gone. I wasn't prepared for that. You caused a tear. But no, honestly, I think I love onions now. They're great. They are fantastic. You know what? I would eat,
I'll definitely cook up some jammy mustard whiskey onions for you at some point then.
and I would eat them with a smile.
Good, I'll hold you to that.
You next time we're meeting up like 2, 3, 5, 6 years ago, right?
Next time we meet, as in when we're getting together for Minions Con.
Oh,
Going to
yeah.
have that road trip down. I'll make sure that there's jammy onions every night for you.
Well, not every night, dude. Come on.
I know, you can flavor up jammy onions in a bunch of different ways. So you can have jammy onions every night and have it be an entirely different dish every
Oh,
night.
yeah, well, yeah, but if you're talking about what we had planned, an enclosed space with a few people eating jammy onions, probably not a good thing.
I know, it'll smell amazing. Onions cooking, especially if you do them right. Oh God.
I think he's talking about the digestive process on that.
Yeah, dude. There's a process to the process.
What goes in must come out.
It's never going to smell like roses, regardless of what we eat, Adam.
I don't want to be in that bed of roses. That's not cool. Maybe once.
Aw.
Gotta make it a special occasion, you know.
Like I said, I can do whiskey and mustard jammy onions. Those are amazing, especially on burgers or with like a nice steak. I could do jammy onions and then do like a Japanese dish. So do like a Japanese rice bowl with maybe some smoked shoyu marinated chicken thighs and some really reduced jammy shoyu onions with a bit of sake in that, just for that added little note of amazing sweetness that the sake gives. And have that on, of course, rice. Do some butter rice, little pat of butter, a couple drops of shoyu, mix that all together. Sprinkle on a bit of, let's see, Setofumi Furikake would probably taste the best on that particular dish. So sprinkle some of that on, layer on the sliced chicken thighs, the concentrated jammy onion on one side, maybe some sauteed mushrooms as well. And I can just spin off different meals every day that just include jammy onions. They have entirely different flavor profiles, are all delicious and amazing, but they do have that nice little accent of really concentrated caramelized onions.
Ugh. Okay,
You're making me so hungry. It's not fair.
Onions? What are you, French?
Maybe, I don't know. I'm a white mutt. I could be anything.
Oh, it reminds me of
We-
the French
Like you
onion.
too much to think you're French.
Wait, what?
I'll put it there.
Oh, well, thank you.
Cut out a little bit. But I'm pretty sure what I heard was, we like you too much to think that you're French. Which,
That's the sweetest
Yes,
thing anyone's
that-
ever said to me.
Oh no! So it's secretly a Quebecian.
it's kind of a reason why we're thinking that Sam must be lying about his nation of origin. He's far too chill to be a Frenchman.
Hey, hold on. I gotta say, hello, Kefki, in chat.
FP, hello.
Hello.
But yeah, there's all kinds of amazing food that you can make with jammy onions, and they're entirely different. You can do jammy onion pork balza. So you do the...
Every time you say jammy onion, it sounds like it's in a jar and you just scoop it out on like.
Well, you
some
can,
bread.
after you make the jammy onion, you can then jar it and
Oh
keep it
god,
that
that
way.
sounds horrible.
But yeah, you can cook down the onions, get that beautiful jammy onion, then mix it with a bit of pork, wrap that, or of course season that with like a bit of shoyu, a bit of chili crisp, just get a really nice floral mince going with that. Mix in the jammy onion, wrap that in some balza dough, which is the same as mantul, and then steam those sons of bitches, and you have these amazing little handheld
Hold on.
meals.
I won't lie. Like if you have green bean casserole and you have those really fried up crispy onions, those are good, you know. So I'm not personally I'm not 100%. Oh, I just dropped my controller. I'm not 100% opposed to onions, you know. It's just you know, sometimes they gross me out. So
See, that tells me that what I was thinking is the issue when it comes to onions for you.
well, okay, Sanguine, we can have this niche psychosis over onions
Nishi.
off 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 stream. Um, we have two wonderful guests on the show, so we should probably ask them how they're doing.
Absolutely, but I think they're also enjoying the torment of you and the description of delicious food.
Yeah, I'm just
Yep.
sitting here with my popcorn, man.
Oh man,
And I do like that he brought on this torture all by himself by changing the subject to food.
Yes,
No.
yes, he did. And from then trying to play up as if he suddenly liked onions.
no, that's not at all what happened.
Yes, it is.
What?
That's exactly what happened.
That's the lore, dude. Accept it.
That's exactly what happened because you said that when I mentioned the onions, you said, yeah, all of that sounds amazing, especially the onion.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what caused me to go off on this. I'll push this and see how far he's willing to take this joke.
Backed into a corner.
Oh man, you know what? I think we should have a a replay and see. You know, let's see what the reviews come back.
An instant replay, just with full commentary. Now you see, this is where Adam fucked up and didn't quite realize it until
This is where he walked around and found out.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think that's quite how it's gonna go out, but yeah. Where's the control room? Hey,
Can I get to keep the cute little headset?
which one of
Like
you
they
is
do it.
going to be drawing on the screen? Is that going to be Sora or is that going to be Gabby?
and this is where they completely
Yay.
knock Adam out, and he falls down and embarrassingly falls to his depths. Oh, jeez. All right.
They're just being the John Madden of the instant replay. But yes. Any-
Kokono in chat saying Sanguine, the master of food porn. Hey Sanguine, do you would you like a weekend job?
So that means
Collab.
I just get paid to start the production or to start cooking, and you handle all the production side that I need to worry about because that's.
I mean, I do have the infrastructure already, so it only makes sense, right?
You could be the
Sounds
cameraman
good.
that feeds the donuts to the actors who are acting.
Also, it sounds like my cooking is going to become a hell of a lot more relaxing.
Mm-hmm.
It depends
Sorry,
on
Adam.
the mood and position of the day.
Adam has no clue how to process what is being
Well,
said and done around him.
only because I'm worried about the involvement of Kokonoi.
Oh,
Because okay, you know what? Jesus, it's still Friday, right?
Yeah, all day.
Oh, man. So, yeah.
get these into the pan, but yes. Do any of you have any stories that caught your ire or your fancy for the day, or anything that you want to get off your chest?
Oh my God, yes. Sorry. It's
No,
and
I
it
have
ties
a-
into food. Ties into food too.
Fantastic.
Let's go.
So there's no yet set date for this, but the provincial government is specifically the school. What do they call them? Ministry of Education. There we go. It's like, what the hell? What are they called? So they are changing food rules for schools here at some point. It's just been announced the last couple days. So what does that mean? They're going to take the Canadian Food Guide and they're going to alter it to include a lot more things that are allowed or not allowed in schools, such as what can be in vending machines, sold in cafeterias, given out for snacks, etc. So what does this mean? It means that nothing like processed sugars, cakes, candies, any of that is all going to be removed and you're not going to be allowed to have them. Okay, that's fine. You know, you'd think, you know, they've been eliminating stuff out of vending machines like pops and stuff for quite a while now. But this is now going to include bake sales, birthday parties, etc. Fundraisers like, you know, Krispy Kreme drive or whatever kids do nowadays, right? So they're going to stop. They're not going to allow if you know, it's usually the primary school kids, you know, parents will bake cupcakes and stuff if it's their kid's birthday to distribute to the class. That's going to be forbidden now. Or eventually the maybe in this coming school year in September or something like that. I don't know when they're implementing it, but this is what they're looking to revise. So no more parties, no more celebrations. You cannot bring anything to school with the intent of distributing it out to fellow classmates.
It's drugs.
Exactly. Because, you know, people were joking. I read some comments and stuff where people were joking that there's going to be that one enterprising kid selling Timbits out of the bathroom, you know, for $1
That's a smart
Timbit.
entrepreneur, man.
Yeah. And I'm like, well, how stupid is the whole idea is to it's to foster healthy habits. And then you had this one child psychologist who's also, it was a weird child dietitian psychologist mix, where she was saying she also had children elementary school age, that this is not the way to go about it, because you're potentially fostering negative associations of food with kids. Because instead of saying some food is, you know, healthier than others, you know, you're supposed to eat in moderation, etc., which is fine. They are literally going to have this is a bad always category, a bad most of the time, and a always good, or whatever, however they're going to dumb it down for little kids, right? Which basically puts food in a good versus evil scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's like, oh, it's stupid. It's so dumb. And I'm like, those poor kids, because you know, growing up, you always had people, you know, you always bring candy or cake or whatever. You know, parents will always make something in elementary school. And then you had bake sales to raise money. That's going to be illegal.
That's
or
so
illegal.
stupid.
Banned, you know.
How are they going to enforce this?
Did the school systems decide our kids are already kind of suicidal after the lockdowns? But they aren't suicidal enough.
Oh, ouch.
Hey,
bro, that went to a dark place real fast.
Hey, all I'm saying is that little dessert could be something that is making someone go, life isn't that bad. I had a decent meal. I had a nice dessert. There was that party, the cupcakes for someone's birthday. And now it's, yeah, we aren't allowed to do cupcakes for that person's birthday. And you know that dessert that you just enjoyed? Fuck you. Here, have a rice biscuit.
I'm thinking of all these sad, depressed children with like carrot sticks and ranch. Maybe ranch is too unhealthy. They might get rid of that a couple of months after the sweets.
It's gonna be like low fat Greek yogurt Caesar dressing or something, you know. Well, but you know what the funny thing is? I think the same thing happened in the States with Michelle Obama's food plan thing, where they changed the caloric intake and no kid liked it. Apparently, they did something similar here, where they tried a pilot project in some certain schools where they provided meals, like in municipalities where you have a higher soup kitchen population type of thing, right? So they provide hot meals throughout the day for kids. Like you get a breakfast and you get a after school snack, right? So it's very important for those communities to have this program. They started doing like vegan, vegetarian, like like very expensive stuff for kids who don't appreciate it. Not that they don't appreciate the food, but these aren't kids who are grown up on quinoa and avocado toast. These are kids who need a hot meal. And of course, nobody they're like, I don't know what this is. There's no taste. There's no anything, and they scrapped it because nobody's eating it. They back to the drawing board, and I guess the drawing board is this.
And the problem so often is that when they say that they're going to make healthy food, what they actually mean is they're just going to make the most boring food in existence, because you can make absolutely delicious healthy food. They never do that. They always go for, so we just made bog standard quinoa, and we mix that with some kale, and there's your meal. Enjoy.
Which is funny because that's what I had for dinner actually. Quinoa, kale, jalapeno. It's a salad, which I love, but
you spiced it up a little bit. You had some seasoning in it.
I had mushrooms. I had sautéed mushrooms in there. I had
I love mushrooms.
It was some fresh tomatoes and a little bit of Caesar dressing. Very little. I'm not a dressing person. I don't like a lot, but just enough for taste, and some Parmesan on top.
Okay, this is a question that I have because as you guys know, I do the cooking shit, of course, and there's a bunch of recipes that I've seen people put up and videos on how to cook things, and there's one thing that always drives me crazy when I see it, and I'm curious how you guys feel on it as well. When someone is including mushrooms in a dish, and they add the mushrooms at the same time as they add the onions, or after they add the onions. When mushrooms are like 90% fucking water, you need to throw that shit in a hot, dry pan and start cooking it off with a bit of salt so that it releases that moisture and then starts to caramelize. Because if you throw it in at the same time as the onions, you're just going to end up with that kind of anemic-looking mushroom that almost has the texture of an eraser. Do you guys notice that as well?
That was very detailed. I honestly did not think about it.
Yeah. And you know what? I have a strong feeling about this about the situation, and I think we should find a solution to this problem.
Are you running for office now? Where is this speech going?
The solution's dead easy. All you do is when you're using mushrooms in a dish, like I use.
That was a fucking. Hold on, she shot me right out the fucking. Bravo. Oh man.
She just Ronald Reagan you. It was Ronald Reagan that got shot mid-speech, right?
No. Didn't he get shot at walking into an area?
Was it? I know Teddy got shot walking in.
I don't want to talk about that. Let's just go with the Top Gun. I was a jet and she fucking... Yeah, dude. Come on, damn it.
Sanguine, check your DMs.
Oh.
Which
I'm guessing Discord, maybe?
Yep.
I sent you some fantastic pictures.
Actually, it was the application so that I can start trying to apply to the new studio and head up the food porn section of it. So,
get some food porn.
I'd subscribe to that.
Yeah, Teddy Roosevelt got shot, continued his speech, but this knocked Adam out of the flow, whereas Teddy Roosevelt, he just took the fucking bullet, said it'll take more than a bullet to kill a bull moose, and continued fucking speaking.
Yeah, it went off the record. But you know what, Goose? sometimes, sometimes we
Sometimes
yeah, I don't have.
when
I
we
don't.
touch,
I don't think I have a. That doesn't,
the
that doesn't help.
honesty is too much.
Yeah, the solution to the mushroom problem is dead easy, though. All you do is the first thing when you're making a dish that includes mushroom, you slice up your mushrooms. Then you throw them into a hot pan that is either dry or just very lightly oiled. You throw in a pinch of salt. You let those sons of bitches go as you just move them around, get them nicely colored, and then you cook the rest of your fucking meal. That way you have these amazing, beautifully colored mushrooms that taste really earthy and amazing, and not the completely sodden wet erasers that are in so many fucking meals.
Yeah.
You know, tomorrow I'm making stuffed mushrooms. I am inspired.
Oh, I haven't had that in a while. I love that. That's very tasty. Mm.
So,
I love just the. Usually make this on the weekends when I have more time and I actually feel like being it's not a production, but it feels like it when you know you cook yourself a breakfast, like actually cook a breakfast, not just have like leftovers or cereal. But I will just put, I have a tiny little pan that's just sort of the kind of like fitting on my biggest eye of my stove, so it's exactly fitting into that ring, and I will put, it can fit exactly 4 cherry tomatoes and 6 button mushrooms, and I will just put it on there, probably spray a little bit of avocado oil like it's from a can, just to, because it's not really a non-stick one, it's a cheapy little pan, but it works really well. And I'll just set them on low to medium high heat and just let them do their thing, and then prepare like whatever else I prepare to eat.
Well, hold on. What's
And then
that thing? It's just like a sauteed type of vegetable.
But I mean, they just cook. So
the tomatoes blister.
Yeah.
And then they start to split and release some of their juices into the pan, most likely. Right?
Yep.
And the mushrooms just give up their moisture at the start, and then the moisture cooks off, so they start getting crispy if you place them cat side down, and they're brown cat mushrooms. They start going a bit crispy on the cap, and it deepens to this golden brown rather than just that earthy brown of a brown mushroom.
Oh, and it's so tasty. And then at the very end, when I'm ready to plate them, I will add a little bit of garlic powder and then pepper, or I have a mix of lemon. It's called lemon salt, but it's lemon and it's sea salt with lemon rind on it. Very, very faint. It's not really much of a flavor, but enough that when you put it on something small that you eat like that, especially on top of tomatoes. So good. So good. Very good. Yeah. And I'll eat that with avocado toast because I'm millennial.
See, I was really worried when you first started that out, though, of it's not really a production. I was expecting you to make a joke and say something like, I really love making cream-filled donuts.
Oh my goodness. Speaking of which, I don't even know if you can show this on stream. Don't say, no. My buddy made
hold on, because I'm sitting here, I'm enjoying the finest pipe weed of the South Farthing, and she was just describing just the perfect second breakfast. I was like, dude, and if you crack in some eggs in between the tomatoes, and oh my god, and the mushrooms, oh dude.
One of these days, I'm going to do a pan. Like, I will take the time. I'll go get myself the ingredients and do a pan focaccia with the cherry tomatoes.
What's the focaccia?
I said my buddy.
Because the best is with the tomatoes.
About a pancake.
Wait, it's like a cooking?
So a focaccia, Adam, is a herby pan bread. It's not quite a flat bread because it is somewhat leavened, but it uses oil and herbs and just all kinds of amazing stuff mixed in. And then it's laid out in a pan and cooked so that it gets really crisp on the bottom, light and fluffy in the middle. And then it has this top that is just covered in a little bit of oil and then all the herbs, maybe a bit of garlic. Really, really good.
Dude.
There was
Hey, Jenna.
Hey, hi Jenna.
Oh,
Hello,
yo.
all.
Hey.
I'm doing well. How you doing, Jenna?
I'm alive. Hi, Gabby person.
Always better than the alternative.
We are the majority now.
Yes.
Wait, what does that mean? Oh shit! And you know what? Wait, is it
The Whammet are taking over.
Hold on, is it the means of the software that they put us to in such a defensive position? Because you know what happened to Boudica when she tried to drive at the Legionnaires at the hill.
She got a song written
Mhm.
about her.
Yeah, well, she also died.
Several of them.
Is that a threat, Adam?
No, I'm just saying.
Sounded more like a warning.
I don't know anymore. I'm trying to figure out what this fakaka was. Oh man.
Focaccia, not
Focaccia.
focaccia.
Fashada.
What are you fresh out of?
What are you fresh out of? I don't know. Oh, wow. Okay. Oh man.
Are you okay, Adam?
I
Breathe.
think so. Yeah. No. Yeah. I'm just
I think
so
he's
excited
quite
that Jenna.
enjoying himself.
I'm excited that Jenna has joined us for this evening.
I am Adam's favorite.
Yes, of course. And it's been a
Well, are
long
you
time
sure?
too. So
Because as we found out last stream, Gabby
Uh-oh.
was the first female on any of my nights.
oh shit.
What are you talking about? Oh, since you took over Friday?
No, it was. I ended up asking Gabby, "What's it like to be the first female on any of my nights?"
I mean, it was an obvious mistake. Let's be real.
Uh-huh. Are you sure?
Um.
Again, I'm just resuming my popcorn and sitting back and just watching this unfold.
100% sure.
Okay.
Ooh. No, well, I got it out. Right? 100%
Better out than
sure.
in.
Yep. Well,
Did you go vegan or something? Why are you clan veggie?
who's? Oh.
You.
Well, that's a long story, sweetheart. We'd have to go and chat about that off the show.
All right, I want to be a clan.
Well, no.
No.
Well, I don't
Jenna,
know.
you're
Maybe.
way too white to say that and not finish out that sentence.
I'm not that white.
I can tan. I can change.
When I was little, I looked very Italian because I was Italian. But since meds and stuff, the moon actually sunburns me.
Yeah.
If I go for a walk while the moon's out, I come back with a sunburn on my face. So maybe I am too white to say that.
See, you just adopted whiteness later on in life. I was molded by it.
We are not the same.
I was pushed through the portal of Italian to white
Mhm.
about 45 miles an hour by a diabetic.
Yep.
That's how I became white.
Whereas I was born it, and my first second-degree burn from the sun was in first grade.
Poor baby.
I wish I could tan. Like I get lobster red and then I go right back to, pale and freckles. Yippee.
I get
that has
lost.
to
Freckles
hurt.
are cute though.
Thank you.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with freckles. Oh my gosh, Sora, you have the it's ma'am guy up.
Yeah.
Yes, we don't.
It's for Adam.
Again,
Adam,
why
are
is it?
you a ma'am?
No, why is it?
No, I'm a ma'am.
Come on,
You're the
Jenna.
man.
Hold on, Jenna. Do you see the onslaught that these people have brought upon me? This is unbelievable.
I'm
I-
sorry.
Look at this. I just came on here to try and entertain and perhaps make somebody laugh, but apparently I'm
What
just
the fuck you talking about? You've heard me over here laughing.
We are amused, good sir. Trust us.
you are laughing.
I will not
You
let them
all
hurt
are
you.
laughing.
Don't worry, Adam. I got you. I'll make
Jenna,
it be nice to you.
It has been such a hardship. I cannot even begin to tell you.
Someone start playing the tiniest violin, please.
I'm already playing it so tiny you can't even hear it.
Oh, thank goodness. Thanks for having our back.
You're back. You're back. As you have.
So wait a second. I don't know who Gabby is.
Oh.
Yes,
Wow.
Gabby is fairly new as being a traveling exhibit. She's been on a number of nights with me, and she
Hold on.
first...
Let me tell you who Gabby is. Gabby is what we would come to find as the sea people. Okay. She came from the sea,
The what?
and
Are
nobody
you calling
could
me a
stop her.
feelie?
So
No.
Adam is currently saying that you're the destruction of early empires.
Yes! Yes, take it!
The destruction of the
Power is
early
mine.
Bronze Age.
You came through the sea and you destroyed everything.
Nobody knew where they came from, and all of a sudden, son of a bitch, there's no more cities.
I shall lay waste to your mortal realm.
Wait,
Jenna,
you
I am
caused
trying to tell you.
Pandora. Help me out. The place is
You
all...
mean- Or do you mean
Pandora's
Pangea?
box.
No,
Gabby,
when all the continents
You
were...
mean Pangea?
Thank you,
Yeah,
Pangea.
Pangea.
It's Gabby, is the one that broke it.
No, so the Sea People were a group that just popped up in history for a short period of time, effectively to fuck over all the established empires in the Mediterranean, because we had this rise of early empires in the Mediterranean that then got completely fucked over by a bunch of random fucks on boats coming from the sea, so they just became known as the Sea People. They were effectively proto-Vikings in how they acted, because they
No,
founded...
that's pretty much what they were. They were Bronze Age Vikings.
Yeah.
And they started in Mysia, and they went on to Assyria, and they fucking went on to Assyria, and then just the only fucking empire that was able to stop them was Egypt, and
Yep.
we only have one slab of like information of these people, aside from like little like oh shit, the Sea Peoples, disrupted my trade.
Mhm.
But it was Egypt that was like, yeah, I stopped the sea peoples. From
That's why I
fucking-
destroyed the Library of Alexandria. No one can know my methods.
well,
Well,
that was
they-
way later. But
The
yeah,
Egyptians did have electricity, so
yes, they did. How
why
do you think
shouldn't they be able to stop the sea creatures?
Well, the sea people even fucked up the Egyptians because it wasn't like they won in some glorious fashion. It was, we fucking stopped them. Oh my god, thank god we stopped them.
We sent them to the Nile where the saltwater crocks were.
No,
That
it
was functionally what the tone was of, hell yeah, we're awesome, we were the ones that beat them, but also, fuck, we had to fight them.
But in fairness, it wasn't just an invading groups of nomadic people, like the Huns or the fucking Timurids. It was a whole bunch of other things like famine and geological upheaval type of stuff.
Yeah,
It all kind of worked together.
You mean where we're headed?
Well, yeah. Hopefully, we're smart enough to navigate through the destruction, the natural destructions, and avoid nomadic sea people from invading us. Hopefully.
Joe Biden is their leader.
That's not a threat. That's just
Yeah,
that's elder abuse. If we even just let him wander and mumble away.
It truly is elder abuse.
I actually feel bad for the guy at this point. So you can't even, because he's just a mouthpiece.
Well, did you see the recent thing that he said? It was like, oh shit, we
Where
lost
did
somebody.
Sora go?
Uh-oh.
let me see if she... Nope, she's not in the back right now, so once she pops back in, I'll click her back in.
I don't know if she's come back soon. But did you guys see what Joe Biden recently said when he was like,
Which
We could-
recent blunder are you referring to? Because
When he tried to start war with Russia over removing Putin?
no, where he goes, you could express America, and it's not quote verbatim, but you can express America in one word, and then he just started like gobbledygook.
You can express America in one word.
And then he goes, there was a time where I was climbing the mountains of the Himalayas with Xi Jinping, and we went 17,000 miles.
Is this like when he was hanging out with Nelson Mandela?
Oh yeah,
Or
yeah,
fighting
no,
Corn
right.
Pop.
Like he just well,
Corn
Pop, I
Pop
believe.
was a bad
No,
dude.
hold on, Corn Pop, I believe he went and settled that situation with Corn Pop.
I think
That's
he fell asleep watching a movie of Grease, and like that's where that story came from.
Well,
No,
don't you know?
No,
Poor
I
kids are
mean-
just as smart as white kids.
Oh my
he
god!
was lifeguarding that pool to the nth degree. I full on believe that he let Corn Pop know what was going on in that
I
area.
think the truest thing about that entire story was his summation of it, where he said, I learned a lot about roaches, and I learned a lot about kids jumping on my lap, and I love kids jumping on my lap.
What was that one segment? Even Australian News was mocking him. He something about train stations and stuff. Like, do you remember that?
Hold on, the sea people got Sora. Oh, no.
No, I like Sora.
You know
She
what?
is spared. I didn't do it. I didn't do nothing.
Wait, you're a sea
Hi,
people?
Dante.
Well,
That's what you guys
how
do.
we transitioned onto the talk of the sea people, because he said that she's the sea people.
Oh, shit.
Focus.
Oh, maybe.
I know what you're talking about
I
with
can't
the train
focus.
thing, though. He was like,
Hold on.
talk.
Gabby, I need you to have this understanding. I tend to hang out with the Eagle Balls a lot of times. Okay, so I can't focus.
He's desperately trying to focus, but he has enjoyed his medicinals a bit too much to
Yes.
be able to properly accomplish doing so.
Oh, gotcha. Good for you, buddy.
Well, I just, I'm trying to. I don't want to see that one of our own got taken by the sea peoples. That's scary.
Which I do find that hilarious because he will be completely eagle's balls the entire time, but then he will bring up the sea people and ancient history, which leaves most people going, what? And I'll be there like, oh, fuck yeah!
Well, that's what happens. Well, because, not everybody's hanging out with the eagle balls.
Yep. And I'm just a complete fucking nerd.
Aren't we all?
Wait, that makes me a nerd?
Hey,
Oh, shit.
Sora survived the
Hey, Sora.
sea people.
Hey! I told you I
My
didn't
network
do it.
just went down. I think they were listening to you guys.
They're trying to disrupt us. Listen, people, they don't want us to talk about this. Ah, shit, my controller.
The globalist man.
Don't mention.
They don't want us to talk about the sea people.
Or Joe Biden and liking kids, like kids have never seen blonde hair before on a leg.
Oh, they don't want you to know about corn pops.
Jumping on his lap. That is the creepiest fucking thing that I've ever heard that man say. I learned a lot about roaches that summer, and I learned a lot about kids jumping on my lap. And I love kids jumping on my lap. The fact that he kind of had that half pause, and then that wistful tone of, and I love kids jumping on my lap.
Even before
What the fuck?
There was already a
dementia,
website.
he was saying stupid shit like that all the time, though.
I know there was a website dedicated like creepy Joe Biden, like, and he was just sniffing everybody.
I like it when you see pictures of when he was vice president and people would go to meet him and he's holding on to the little girl with both hands and sniffing while the whole family's standing around smiling, not noticing the child's being assaulted.
Oh.
I mean, being assaulted.
Introduced to the Vice President of the United States is the appropriate phrase, I think.
Oh. That's so sad.
Find
We
out
could
what
have
he's
we
a
could have
witch.
had Tulsi, but no, we got the geriatric man with dementia.
Yeah,
Inspiring a new generation.
Though I do love
Yeah.
They
the...
kill themselves. Like getting rid of the sweets wasn't bad enough.
Yep.
And
Well,
the
see,
cackling vice president.
They're pushing forward on all fronts. First, they lock the kids down so the kids lose their ability to socialize. Then they come back into schools, and they aren't allowed to have sweets or candy. That depresses them a little bit more, gets them a bit closer to just deciding, you know what? I might be 4, but life isn't worth living anymore. And then in order to just fill that out a little bit more, they all get to meet the president.
That's
And-
even crueler than the one-child policy. Let's just frickin' do the one-child policy at this point.
Uh-oh.
That was a joke.
I'm in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, you've overshot.
She's
that limit.
she might have one too many over one child in her home.
And since you have to be introduced to Gabby,
Oh.
Gabby, in order to introduce you to Jenna, Jenna has, is it 36 children?
It's not 36.
It was 34 plus you and Jamie. That's where the 36 came from. Didn't it?
Aww.
So 34 children in her house.
Are you a foster or?
Adopted. Syria, Afghanistan, South Africa, and Britain. One kid from Britain, and my last ones are from Utah.
Bless your heart.
A veritable model UN in a household.
And
Well,
very, very lucky children in a very happy, like loving home. So it's always our
wait.
little slice of happiness here.
I like doing this to people. Gabby, would you like to know what the name of a few of my Afghanistan children are?
Sure.
Landon, Gavin, Sawyer, Kylie, and Lori.
That doesn't sound very ethnic.
They were old
Wait a
enough
minute.
that when we got them, they wanted to change their name.
Aw.
They didn't want that, we have them for a reason, and they wanted that reason. They wanted nothing to do with that reason, so.
Mhm.
But Landon's 20 now, my baby boy. I got him when he was 5.
No. Man, that was fast. Time flies.
And I was about to make an offer, then I realized, nope, that doesn't work. And then I realized immediately after that, yep, that doesn't work twice over now. Because I was going to say, let me know when he turns 21. I can take him drinking. And then I realized, nope.
Mormon.
Yeah, I first went, nope, he's one of the ones that came, and he's a Mormon currently. No.
Mm-hmm.
That was the thought.
Well,
process.
Can't you take him to a smoothie bar? Have a wheatgrass shot?
There you go.
Take him to
What?
Okay.
a Molly Mormon
Who the
area.
hell does
and-
that?
Let them drink Mountain Dew in front of them. It will get them just as bad as the drinking.
So this may be insensitive, but I'm actually curious. Are you allowed to have any sort of fermented drinks, or is that all considered alcohol? Like, can you have like kombucha or kefir or anything like that that technically has could have like maybe 5% or under of natural alcohol,
I don't
just
know.
because of the fermentation process. Pardon me, slurring my words.
Isn't it effectively the most alcoholic thing that you guys can have is vinegar?
No.
It's the most alcoholic thing that you can have. If it's, because vinegar does have a slight amount of alcohol, since it's alcohol that has gone.
We cook with alcohol because it burns off.
Yeah, but I'm saying in something that you aren't cooking off.
I don't know. I don't know what kombucha is, so I don't know.
It's
It's
hard to
okay.
explain.
It's
Sora, I'll let you do it.
I actually don't know what it's. I just know it's something fermented that's not very pleasant to drink.
Then I'm gonna go no.
If you get the lime flavored and they try to call it a mojito, it's supposed to be very good for your gut flora.
Yeah.
And people here brew their own because that's a thing. It's West Coast, so.
Well,
Kombucha is effectively either green or black tea. You can do it either way. That you first effectively brew, not just brew as in brewing a cup of tea, but brew as in make alcoholic, and then you force it to start to sour, and it's kind of like in the process of making vinegar, and you stop it partway through that process, so it ends up tart and very particularly flavored.
I like Cannibalistic Wizard's description. It's fermented kale and ground up pig testicles.
Kind of tastes like that sometimes, yeah.
it sounds disgusting, so I'm gonna go
Oh.
no.
There you go, Dante. It's cultured or tea. Kombucha is cultured tea.
Yep.
Yeah, I can see it. That's good
Well, see,
description.
tea's a no too, because of how it flushes out your liver. Although I drink tea because I have thalassemia, thanks to my Italian ancestry.
What do you have? I'm sorry.
Thalassemia.
You put so much stank on Italian ancestry. The only people that I have heard put a similar amount of stank on it are Irish.
I'm also Irish.
And is
That
does
explains
that
why you
come
put
from
the
the Italian?
Irish stank on Italians.
What? Sorry?
Is that particularly coming down the Italian trait? Really?
It's Mediterranean.
Ah.
Normally, it's called something else in people in Egypt, but it's thalassemia, and my red blood cells don't grow correctly; they're disformed, and I have a lack of them. Occasionally, I'll need a blood transfusion or something, and this I was born with, so my dad has it, and my nana has it, and my great grandmother had it.
Fantastic. Very interesting.
But my
Good. It's cool.
liver
I mean, it sucks for you, but it's such an interesting thing.
my liver collects too much iron, so I drink tea. So
Yeah.
or is it my whatever collects iron? So I drink tea to flush it out. That's why you're not supposed. You can't see me doing the hand quotes, but you're not supposed to drink tea because it flushes out the iron in your liver.
What was that? Would it be tannins in the tea? So it is most common. There you go. Besides, like you said, for the Mediterranean. So we're dealing with the Italians, Greek, Turkish, Middle Eastern, South, and then South Asian and African.
It's actually a relative to leukemia and sickle cell.
But yeah, Sora, that pacing was just brilliant. Entirely accidental, but brilliant. That's very interesting.
That's fantastic.
It was a genuinely slip of, I'm trying to say fascinating, and that's not the word that was about to come out of my mouth.
That's okay. I have a hard show.
That's more like, you know what? It's for you. It
You had a S curve to your spine. I told you guys about the one friend that I had ages ago, right?
No.
More details are required.
He had scoliosis, so he had one of those hard braces that he would wear,
Aww.
and he would fuck with certain people and say, I bet you could punch me and I wouldn't feel a thing. If they didn't know that he had the hard shell, he would just do that, go up to various people. Some of them would go, okay, how much you betting? And he would go like, $5, you can punch me in the stomach, and if I double over, then you get $5. If I don't, I get $5. So he did this throughout a good chunk of high school, just would use that money to then buy various things that he wanted. And there was the first time that I heard him issue that challenge to someone else, I went, I could use $5, and he went, no. Are you interested in this $5 bet to the person that he was talking to?
You are not allowed to. I know your strength. Nope.
Yeah, it was the same year that I popped the chest plate of someone in shoulder pads.
Oof.
You took your arm out of the socket and played the rest of the football game.
Yeah, popped it out going forward. It popped back in. It was good to go. I just needed a break out of the socket.
Hardcore, bro.
Oh, you wouldn't believe the stupid things he does.
It's guys. I don't have to imagine too hard. God, my brother and cousin were just little devils.
Yep. Yeah. I've horrified Jenna with retellings of several of my injuries, including my ACL injury, my non-concussion head injury, my shoulder going out of the socket a bunch of times.
You haven't horrified me. I just want to see your brain scan after you're dead. Because it's going to have all those things that football players has.
Now, I won't have,
it's gonna answer a lot of questions.
I won't have any CTEs because I didn't get enough head injuries for CTEs. what would probably be telling of looking at my brain scan is seeing the temperature regulation part of my brain, because that's probably all fucked.
Well, yeah, you walk around without a coat in 20-degree weather.
I was thinking more of the dying 4 times because my brain decided to cook itself.
That was your story to tell.
No.
I didn't tell you guys about my brain cooking itself 4 times when I was young.
Yeah, you had a high fever.
Yeah. I thought I did.
My highest was 108. I think you beat me, though.
Yeah, the highest that was registered was right before my body decided to start doing the dance on the floor, and it was like 112.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, you beat me by a lot.
Yeah.
4 points. I'm good at the 1-8.
So, Gabby, just so that you aren't going, what the fuck? The temperature regulation part of my brain was on the fritz when I was really young. So you know how most people, when they get sick, their fever caps at like 101, 102. If it's a really bad fever, it might go up to 103, 104.
Mm-hmm.
My body had effectively no ability to regulate its temperature due to the temperature regulation part of my brain being on the fritz. So if I got sick, my fever wouldn't cap.
Oof.
So
that's really dangerous.
It would spike up. Like I said, the highest that was ever actually tracked in me was 112. And your brain starts cooking a fair bit lower than that. So your body tries to shut down and you go into a febrile seizure. And a good chunk of the time, you have some parts of your body kind of flip off. For me, since my temperature still wasn't capping, everything stopped. And then I'd have to be rebooted.
Gabby, do you know what his parents did?
Mm-mm.
Well, because he thought having 2 Marine parents, they didn't see enough excitement, he decided to scare the hell out of them every time he got a cold.
That was not a choice. That was just biology.
I think you were like, you know what, Mom, Dad, you're Marines, you can take it.
But yeah, every
I'm
time
your youngest child, you love me the most, here's 112 fever.
Yep, every time that I ended up getting sufficiently ill, it would just spike up to that point. If I just got a normal illness, it would spike up a lot higher than it's supposed to, and then it would just kind of hover at that higher than it's supposed to be. So a normal cold that would get up to like a 99, maybe 100, would go up to like a 101, 102, like it was an actual illness rather than just a cold.
I'd be taking your temperature every 4 hours for
Yep.
your entire childhood.
And at one point, my mom had to go to drill weekend because she was a Marine reservist at the time. And my father was the one taking care of me. Ended up going to... That was the time I think I got med-flighted because my body shut down and they couldn't get it to come back up. And they didn't have a vent that was small enough for, like, 3-year-old me. So I got med-flighted to the children's hospital in the area. And my mom, when she heard about this and ended up showing up, the doctor said, if you want to make sure that your son is alive, don't ever leave him alone with his father again.
Oh my God.
How
Because
bad did your dad feel?
my father
What do you do to fuck up?
My father just didn't know how to handle it, and what was done when my mom was there, my mom was trained in CPR and all that good shit. So when I went down like that, she would immediately start CPR. My father called and had the ambulance come get me, and he had to be prompted and then walked through CPR. So, because he didn't know how to react. Yeah, the doc said, don't leave him alone with his father. You'll end up with a dead son.
How about have your husband take CPR lessons? That's less cruel than never be with your father again.
Some people still, I mean, you might know how to do it, but you still freeze up in the moment.
Mm-hmm. And that was part of it. He sounded too panicked when he called, so they went, yeah, not a good situation. Don't leave him alone, or else you'll have a dead son. Which probably has something to do with the fact that I can now walk around in ridiculously cold temperature without a coat, not feel a goddamn thing, but I start to melt if it goes above 70.
Oh, God.
Who doesn't?
Well,
Why would you want it above 70?
Yeah. Ideally down in the 60s or lower. Well, ideally, if I'm dealing with other people, down in like 68, because that seems to be tolerable for most people. If I'm by myself and you can get it sub-freezing, sub-freeze.
That's me too. I much prefer colder weather over hot. Like
Yeah.
I play in the snow in just like a t-shirt and like jeans.
Yep, especially since you can always cool down. You can always warm up, but you can't always cool down.
Yeah.
You can only get so like undressed in public before the cops are called.
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
And
You can always add more layers, but you can't take away layers after you reach skin unless you're Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah,
It puts the lotion on its skin or else it gets the hose again.
No less than skin. What are you gonna just wear your muscles?
You know,
Or you take the option that my body has taken sometimes, which is still too hot? Okay, just start the exsanguination protocol. Nose, you know what to do.
No.
Just
That
a
sucks.
nosebleed until you cool down enough.
That is unfortunate.
I think I'll dress down to my rods.
Nice.
Then
To your what?
My rods.
don't they get
Your bra?
What?
Rods.
can't they get too warm?
Yeah, the sun beating on them, the titanium, so I bet they would get. So I'll just keep the air conditioner going in my room like it is at the moment.
Yep.
And 16 fans on. Although I turn off most of my fans to join the stream because I'm nice.
Thank you for that, because yeah, it gets wind tunnel when it's on. Then again,
Breathing is important.
Yep. Which is why I've said that if it starts getting too much of an issue, flip them back on. But when you're willing, yeah, it's nice not having to deal with the wind tunnel.
I'd have one going with the air conditioner. I've learned if I keep that one on where it is, it doesn't, I think, interrupt.
Blow
with
right
the-
across the mic, yeah. It was just that one that you had that was blowing right across the mic pickup.
Yeah. I've learned over the years how to do this.
We all have.
Yeah, well, there's nothing wrong with that. You know?
It's practice, just time and practice.
Yeah, you know, we grow with it.
The years I used to stream with my phone, I don't miss those.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, that I don't understand how people could do that. Where they just sit there and they have the phone and it's pointed at them, and they're just like, "Well, let me tell you something. This is what's going on."
The vloggers.
Well, I didn't have a computer. Oh, you mean
Yeah,
vloggers?
yeah, I don't know.
Here's a question for you. Family vloggers. Do you think it's okay to film the children without their consent and without
No.
paying them?
No.
No,
Do not film children at all.
no.
Agreed.
Keep them out of it. It's unnecessary to have
I
them.
think
Unless,
don't-
because otherwise you use them as a prop. I'm sorry. That you can go ahead.
Well,
No,
I don't
no,
know
no, no,
about
sorry, I didn't
never,
mean
but
to.
I wouldn't make a channel around it. Like, I mean, I get wanting to have a cute video of your kid, for yourself, so you can watch later or show them when they're a bit older.
Yep.
But like,
Or-
I wouldn't
Yeah,
make a
yeah.
YouTube channel. I mean, it's made at most maybe like a Facebook thing. Like, but again, that's a whole bunch of strangers on the internet. Like, it would just be for like myself or some other family.
And there are so many creeps out there.
Or in a
And,
situation like with, I think it's happened to Irate a few times, and I know it's happened to like Donut, where they'll be doing a video or doing a stream, and their kid will come running in and go, "Dad, can I get?" And you can't really help, but the kid just burst into the room. Of course, they're going to be on the fucking camera for a moment.
Well, Donut, that's different. He's not a family vlogger.
That's what I'm saying. It's one thing if it's the kid ends up on the vlog because the kid bursts in. It's another thing when you're doing like the what's the Ace family? That's one of them, right? I've heard that name.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
but Donut Operator has a second family channel, and like his son's been there on occasion, but just showing road trips and stuff.
But on occasion, it's not built around him.
Yep.
John.
Yeah.
His name's John.
Yep.
It's
And
I mean,
it's kind of clear that John has gone, yeah, I'm fine.
his nephew's on it more, but his nephew's, I think, over 18.
And teleports.
And why?
He teleports.
And teleports.
Oh, wow. I wish I
Is
could
he an
teleport.
X-Man?
Does he know if the cake is real?
Have you not seen those ad cuts that he does? Where it's like his Raycon ad cut?
Oh, I love when he has to do a commercial for a sponsor and his head's bleeding on the side of the rock, but the Raycons are still going.
Mm-hmm. And one of them is that his nephew is able to teleport around.
That's-
So it's just every time that he turns his back, his nephew appears right in front of him again. Then we'll steal his Raycons and shit like that and then teleport away.
Sounds like a normal kid.
Yep. But, and, oh god, someone's referencing SCP in chat.
Huh?
You do not recognize the bodies in the water, cannibalistic wizard. You do not recognize them. SCP. It's the Secure, Contain, Protect.
He's in the water.
There's a SCP that is, I can't remember the number, but it's SCP such and such number. You do not recognize the bodies in the water. And it's this body of water that bodies will just pop up in. And it does not matter what the body is. You do not recognize the bodies in the water. If you ever
Okay.
do recognize the bodies in the water, then you have to be contained as well. You do not recognize the bodies in the water.
That's disturbing.
Yep. It is a very... I love the SCPs that are well done. Because they all have that fantastic creep factor to them. One of my favorites is the Plague Doctor. Sora, you know SCP, right? Gabby, do you know SCP?
I'm assuming it's like a creepypasta or whatever channel.
Kind of. It's a collection of short stories that are written by anyone who wants to write one. They have to be in a very specific style.
Isn't
And
that called fan fiction?
not fan fiction, because fan fiction is based
Borrowing
on
existing material from
Yes.
someone else.
it's borrowing existing material, and it doesn't have to have a uniform style, which is why fan fiction gets as ripped to shit as it does, because you'll have something that is actually rather well written. Like, I don't know, you can take the original series Star Trek or the Harry Potter books, and those are well written. And then the fanfics are My Immortal, which is hilariously bad. And I recommend the best way to consume My Immortal is the Internet Historian version of My Immortal. It is glorious. I cannot recommend it enough. He does all of the dress-up montages for it, and it is in his entire Internet Historian style, which is just beautiful. And then there's the one that Mary Sue comes from. I can't remember the name of it, but that was a Star Trek original series fanfic, which does not share the writing style or quality of the actual work. In SCP, you have to have this particular style in order for it to be accepted. And the style is, it has to be written as if it's a report. SCP.
SCB?
SCP. So Sierra Charlie
Paul?
Paul, yes. And it has to be in this very specific style, which is written as if it is a report that is meant to be kept internal to an to like a government or extra governmentary organization that deals in things that should not be. And it is called Secure, Contain, Protect. So they have a whole bunch of different categorizations of the effect level of the SCPs that they capture. All of them have to have redactions throughout the entire article, and they have to meet that very clinical, this is just someone writing about what the fuck they're working on in a laboratory, effectively.
Did you hear about the guy who got his entire left side cut off? If you have any information on this individual, please report your site director immediately.
Yep. Yeah, it's all stuff like that. One of my favorites is, let me quickly look it up. I can't remember the number off the top of my head, but I remember what it's called, and it is the Plague Doctor. SCP-049, the Plague Doctor. It is fantastic, and it is one of my favorites just because it gets the creepiness. I'm not going to read through the entire thing because it's someone else's work and I don't want to be cribbing off someone else's work. But just to read a small portion so that you guys can get a feel of what the hell this is like. SCP-049 in French. So then, how should we begin? An introduction? Dr. Ham aside. Is that French? Can we get a translator? SCP-049. In English. The King's English. No need for translation, sir. I can speak it well enough. Dr. Ham. Good. My name is Dr. Raymond Ham, and I... SCP-049... Ah, a doctor! A like-minded individual, no doubt. Wherein is your specialty, sir? Dr. Ham? Cryptobiology. Why? SCP-049... A medical man, such as myself, wonders abound, and here I worried I had been abducted by common street thugs. Looks around the room. This place, then, is this your laboratory? I had wondered, as clean as it is, and with such little trace of the pestilence here. Dr. Ham, the pestilence? What do you mean? SCP-049... The scourge, the great dying. Come now, you know of, taps temple furiously. What is it called? No matter. The pestilence, yes. It abounds outside these walls, you know. So many have succumbed, and many more will continue to until such time as a perfect cure can be developed. Unfortunately, I am very close. And it is my duty in life to rid the world of it, you see. The cure to end all cures. And it just continues on like that. It has excerpts from interviews. It has the record of how they found him, where they found him, what he does, what his physical makeup looks like.
I can't decide if
My dude,
Dr.
that was a pretty good performance. I apologize, Jenna, for cutting
it's
in.
okay.
That was, yeah, brava, sir.
10 out of 10.
So I can't decide if that was Dr. Fauci trying to make some extra cash or if it was his wet dream.
I think extra cash and power. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
What?
The plague doctor actually has some interesting medical expertise.
So it's his wet dream.
Yes, it results in him making horrendous homunculi, but he actually produces something. And he's trying to handle a disease that he's not very good at explaining, but might actually be a disease, and he's actually describing it somewhat accurately, unlike Fauci, who, well after it was determined that AIDS was blood and bodily fluid, was absolutely positive that HIV was spread through the air.
So
Follow
I
the
don't think
science.
Sora
Exactly.
would have had to, but did you guys have to watch that movie in junior high? Well, I guess 5th grade, about the boy that got AIDS from the blood transfusion and
Oh, yeah. I
Ryan
had to
something or
watch-
another.
I didn't watch the documentary. It was Ryan White, if I remember the kid's name correctly. And it was due to poor testing of blood donations that, yeah, he
That
ended up...
scared the shit out of me because I had gotten blood transfusions. And I was just thinking, oh crap, I'm going to die.
Yeah, it was a poor testing of the sample. I can't remember whether... I think his sample came from another country, effectively. And
I
the other
don't remember.
country had failed to properly test it, and the US had failed to properly test it upon it coming to the US.
Yay. Fun fact, in the documentary movie thing, Ryan, the actual Ryan, had a part in the movie in the elevator scene. He played a sick kid.
Okay.
Which is kind of, well, they were making a movie about him, so it was kind of cool that he got to be a part of.
Yeah, that's always
In
cool
it.
when the person who's actually... the movie is actually about is in the movie to some extent.
Excuse me. We all have strange facts we remember. I remember that. I don't know why. Nowadays, though, you know, with Eric, it's not even... He hasn't positive in years.
Yep, because now we have really good viral suppressors.
they've tested his
Sorry about the can of cider opening.
wh-
Though that might
whenever
have
I
been a really
drink
pleasing can pop.
whenever I drink, you can hear it because of where my thingy was, so I can't help it. Sorry, people. But
Yeah, dude, saludos.
Yep. Just popped open a Maid Marian, which is a 2 towns cider house cider that contains blackberry juice
can I
from
call you Robin for the rest of the show?
Marion berries.
Wait,
If you
Rob.
feel so inclined, I suppose.
Yeah, where does that come from, though?
Maid Marian.
Maiden,
So
Maiden.
I
Oh.
currently have Maid Marian, which would clearly make me either Robin Hood if I'm the hero, or it would make me the sheriff if I'm the villain.
Oh, but Alan Rickman did such a great job as.
Alan Rickman did a great job as everything.
Oh,
Yeah, come on now.
what a
I cannot
fabulous.
Of a part that Alan Rickman did not elevate.
I loved when he. No more scraps to the orphans or the leopards, and no more merciful beheadings and cancel Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And just the way, he was one of a kind. We'll never have an actor like him again.
And it's just fascinating how late he came to acting.
It is. He was like 25 or 26, and he was like, someone invited him to go.
I think he was older than that. Let me quickly double check. I think it was in his 40s.
I thought it was late 20s where he was studying Shakespeare and doing plays.
Wait, he was in his 40s when he did, in the very least, Die Hard?
I'm quickly double checking, and I think that his first movie role was he was already in his late 30s, early 40s.
He looks so young.
I'm quickly double checking.
Well,
So
they had him
he was-
playing a 34-year-old.
He was born in 46. And when did his first movie come out? So he did a fair bit of stage acting, of course, as is the trend when it comes to English actors.
And that's when he started in his late 20s. When did his first movie come out, though?
First movie was 1988. So you were correct. He was younger than I remembered. He was in his 20s. In fact, 1988. He was 42. I was right.
For
He
his
was 42
for the movie.
when he was first in a movie, and that was Die Hard.
He didn't do anything before Die Hard?
Nope.
I'm reading right now. Till that, Alan Rickman started his movie career when he was 42. His first role was being Hans Gruber in
Gruber,
Die
yep.
Hard.
Yeah. So he got into acting in the
He
70s.
did not look 42. He looked so much younger.
Yeah, he got into acting in the 70s, which meant that he was in his early 30s, and then he didn't actually get into movie until 88, which meant that he was 42.
He was in Romeo and Juliet in 1978.
Yep.
I was not alive.
Like I said, that would have had him at 32 when he first got on stage.
Well, that was his first big play.
Yeah.
He married his wife after 47 years of dating.
47?
Yeah.
Damn.
Alan Rickman married his wife 47 years after meeting.
He makes his life choices very slowly, it seems.
Yeah.
Should I get
May
into
he rest in
acting?
peace.
Maybe 42 years later, he's an actor. Should I get married 47 years later? He's married.
But him as the bad guy, as Hans, in Die Hard and Sheriff Nottingham.
Yep, the Sheriff of Nottingham.
He
Excellent role, by the
did
way.
not look like he
There
was
we
in
go.
his 40s.
I was just about to respond to your message, Sora, that things were crapping out again, it seemed. But
My internet's going in and out, so sorry if I'm just gonna stay muted because I don't know if it's off or not until you guys go silent on me. So I don't want to talk over.
Oh,
no worries.
You can
Hooey.
talk over us. We love you.
And sorry, you should know that if you're on one of my nights, you kind of have to talk over me at a certain point.
Perhaps at some point, but you know that would be intentional, not by accident.
So you just want to make sure that you talk over me at the right point, rather
Exactly.
than just willy-nilly.
Got it.
Adam, what's your opinion on Alec Rickman? Alan Rickman.
My opinion on Alan Rickman is that he was a British actor.
He played Snape.
No.
He was in his
Yes, he
60s
did.
playing a 30-year-old.
I loved his performance on what was that one with Tim Allen as the
Oh,
The
yeah, I know what
fucking-
you're talking about.
Galaxy Quest.
Galaxy Quest.
Oh, that was good. That was
Yeah, he
hilarious.
I haven't seen that in
Yeah.
ages. That was very fun. Yeah.
So
I grabbed Thor's hammer. I shall avenge you.
and honestly, I think actually hearing what you guys were talking about, that's probably oh, I'm sorry. Do you need to take this call? Never mind.
That
But
was just my phone making a noise, which it shouldn't have made because it should have just made it straight into my head.
but I
They're all in your
imagine
head.
the character he played was kind of an allusion to what he had to deal with.
Mhm.
Hey, just say the part. I'm an actor.
Oh,
Yeah.
but he put his whole body, he put his whole soul into the spot.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't just, say these lines. It was, you want dramatic? I will give you dramatic. From the tips of my toes to the top of my head.
Mm-hmm. Alan Rickman was fantastic. He's one of those actors that I would put in that either highest echelon or just below that highest echelon of actors.
Well, hold on. It's that because a lot of people attribute him to what's his name, Slate,
Snake.
Snape.
Snape.
Right?
Yeah.
Snape.
You're doing this on purpose.
Severus Snape.
You're not.
A
No,
long
hold on.
A.
Snape,
Yes.
right?
Yes, it's a long A.
Okay. We're not doing it on purpose.
If you're ever having trouble remembering what his name is, just remember Canada, and you should be able to get it, eh?
Yeah, Snape. So
just Snape.
he-
Snape. Severus Snape.
So a lot of
Dumbledore.
people attribute him to that character.
Nick of time.
But for me, it's that, and it's also the Metatron from fucking Dogma,
Mm-hmm.
because yes, he was fucking leading the way. It's I don't know, Alan Rickman.
You've
I
seen
found it hilarious being smooth as a Ken doll for that movie.
Well,
you've seen the best Christmas movie around, Die Hard, right?
of
Die
course.
Hard, and he was in another very good Christmas movie as well. Do you guys know the other one that he was in?
What is it?
What is that?
It was the one that fucking everyone was in, including Liam Neeson. Not narrow it down anything for anyone.
It's a Wonderful Life.
No.
I didn't think so. That was made in like the 40s.
Now I'm just as at Love Actually. That's the name of the movie. I had blanked right as I was about to say the name. It is Love Actually.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, he's in Love Actually.
Robin
for real?
Hood.
Yeah.
There was a man from Nottingham who tried to cross a river. What did
He was
tripped
the
on a rope. Now
husband
look at
that
him
was
shiver.
debating whether or not he was going to cheat
Oh,
in Love Actually. He was the one that bought his mistress bought his would-be mistress a necklace for Christmas and was hiding it from his wife.
Wasn't his wife Emma Thompson or something
I think so.
in that movie? Or his mistress? She was one of those two.
Let me quickly double check which one.
oh shit! It's man.
Hey, Sanguine,
Yes.
do you still have a 3 strikes in your out policy with people who drop out on your nights?
No. That was my rule. You don't have to worry about it. He won't do that to you.
Yeah, the only reason why that rule was put in place was it wasn't connection issue that was causing it. It was she kept on clicking the fucking end stream.
That's not true. Sometimes it was connection issue. Sometimes I would touch a button I wasn't supposed to touch.
Hold on.
The
hold on.
vast majority it was you would touch a button you weren't supposed to touch. And
Dee Dee, don't push the button.
Hold on.
Push the button.
So Jenna was pushing buttons to end the stream like a Marvin.
I
the
was
Martian
on my
cartoon?
phone.
She was on her phone and she kept on hitting the leave
Now, if I
screen button.
push this button here, it's gonna
Well,
end the show.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Or I'd go to move my phone so I could, because you know how I have to change positions because my bones hurt?
Mhm.
I'd go to change and I'd pick up my phone and I'd hit something. And sometimes it was just plain old stupidity, like trying to turn up the volume.
But yeah,
Wait, the volume's not the exit.
that's the reason why there was the 3 strikes and you're out policy. It was just because she was abusing it by leaving the call constantly.
Not on purpose.
Now, does the 3-strike policy apply to everybody?
Nope,
If
just me.
you click leave the call or leave the stream 3 times, and it isn't a connection issue or your computer takes a shit or something like that, then yeah, I will institute the you've clicked 3 times to leave this. You're just taking a piss now.
That is fair enough.
There's a strange
Excuse me.
fact. I could do the Harry Potter movies and Harry Potter not be in any of them, and I'd be extremely happy.
See, I've said this before, but this is a hill I'm willing to fucking die on. There's a scene from the books
Mhm.
that was probably the best scene in any of the books that they completely removed from the movies, and it pisses me off to no end.
There's so much that was in the books that they didn't put in the movies. The movies were already 2.5 hours long, but there were so many good parts. They just, we don't care about that.
But the thing is that the scene that they replaced it with in the movies fucked over the entire point of that scene in the books. Because in the
Which
books,
scene?
Yeah,
in the
which
books,
scene?
there's this fantastic scene where it's Cornelius Fudge is meeting with the Prime Minister of England.
Oh, yes.
Oh, and you
You'll
find
never
out
see
that
me
they
again.
knew.
Yeah, he comes forward to the Prime Minister
The new
and
Prime Minister.
is having to say, Hey, you know how everything's been kind of going to shit on your end? And he's like, yes, I've been dealing with this building collapsed out of fucking nowhere. This bridge collapsed, killing a bunch of people. We're having this issue and that issue and this issue. And
Sorry,
it's
that's
Fudge
us.
having to go, yeah, that's us. We're spilling over into your world. We're having a bit of a civil war on our end, and it's getting nasty. We're going to be able to win, but yeah, that building that randomly exploded, that was actually a Death Eater who was targeting Muggles, and that's what happened there. You know, that bridge that collapsed, that was Death Eaters. Again, they were targeting Muggles because they're trying to spill it out. They're trying to make it a full-blown war between the Wizarding world and the Muggles, not just a civil war between their faction and ours. And it's this very tense scene of each thing, him having to explain how it happened, what was happening, and the Prime Minister just getting progressively more pissed off because he's been having to deal with all of this shit. He's been trying to figure out how to handle it, and it's damn well probably going to make him lose his seat as Prime Minister, and it's not even his fucking fault, and it's not even standard humans that's causing this. No, it's the fucking wizards, and he can't just say, yeah, it's these sons of bitch wizards that are the issues.
Maybe he should have taught him Avada Kedavra.
So that was a fantastic, ridiculously tense scene from the books that just sold this conflict. And then they replaced that scene in the movies. And what did they replace it with? They still had the bridge collapsing. They still had the building exploding. They still had all the things that were talked about in that one interaction in this office where it's just Fudge, the Prime Minister, and then the new Minister of Magic comes in. But no, they replaced it all so that all of those events happened when someone was trying to kill Harry Potter and missed. So they took it from this war is so much bigger than Harry Potter. And they reduced it to, nope, this war is just Harry Potter. There's nothing else to this war. It is just Harry Potter.
I didn't see him cast a spell in the entire movie. Either Ron or Hermione saved his ass.
He cast it in the duels.
I do like in the books when the Minister of Magic goes to the Prime Minister and goes, hi, don't worry, I'm a wizard, magic exists. Don't worry, you'll probably never hear from me again.
Mm-hmm.
And then 3 chapters later, so let me explain.
Let me explain all the ways I fucked up.
I need to reread the books. God, it's been so long.
I always have a 3rd, 4th, and 5th grader. So I go through those books yearly. But I never get bored of them. And my kids really enjoy reading them.
They are very well written. They are fantastic. I enjoyed the hell out of them when I read them. Enjoyed them far more than the movies because, like I said, the movies
aren't comparable.
Like 85-90% of the time, like the on-screen adaptation, either TV show or movie-wise, of any book is just subpar.
Yeah,
it happens.
They have peeves. How are you supposed to do no peeves? You need that, you know.
Well, CGI budget was low. They had nearly Headless Nick.
For 2 movies.
Yeah.
And then they got rid of him as well.
And they have Moaning Myrtle.
Ugh.
Barely.
For a movie and
yeah.
then, like, 1 more mention.
Mm.
But yeah, there are certain adaptations that are amazing. The one that, of course, everyone will name when you're thinking of really good adaptations, The Lord of the Rings.
I've never seen it. I've read the books though.
Those movies did a really good job. They didn't get everything, but they are one of the best adaptations of anything that I can think of, because they tried to keep, they didn't get all the beats correct, but they kept the spirit throughout the entire thing, and they kept the scale throughout the entire thing. So they don't have all the characters, like Tom Bombadil never shows up in the movies.
No, yeah.
But it still told a full story, and you didn't get the feeling like they really fucked up by not showing Tom Bombadil. You had people going, I really liked Tom. It would have been cool if he had been in the movie. But it was still a good movie. And then the other one that I will sing the praises of endlessly, just because he did it beautifully, is every version of The Hitchhiker's Guide. You might be slightly confused, because if you've seen different versions of The Hitchhiker's Guide, you're going, those were entirely fucking different. Yeah, they all had the restaurant at the end of the universe, but how they got there was, yes, that's the fucking point. Because the books were different than the radio show, were different than the first TV miniseries, were different than the first movie. And
You're not
all
talking about-
of those... Oh, go ahead.
You're not talking about Phone Book Wizard, are you?
No, that's the Dresden Files. The one that I was talking about was Douglas Adams. Douglas Adams wrote The Hitchhiker's Guide, and in every version of The Hitchhiker's Guide that he wrote each one different. So you could read the book, and you could enjoy the book. You could listen to the radio show, and you would have a bunch of the touchstones from the book, but how they were pieced together would be different. So it would be a different experience, and it was designed to be a different experience, so that you could enjoy both, and you might have a favorite, but you wouldn't be saying, well, this one really missed the mark because it left out this. You'd be going, yeah, they're both amazing, but I prefer this one because I liked how it fit these pieces together a bit better. And he did that with each of the ones that he wrote. And like I said, he wrote the book, the radio drama, the television miniseries, the first movie, and the second television miniseries. He was the writer on all of those. And he purposefully made each of them different.
Well, that also makes them... When you have a way of writing, it sticks, and
Yep.
you can change the story completely, but you can still... It still makes you feel like you're in it if it's a really great writer.
Mm-hmm.
And you're okay with the fact that the story completely changes on the next one, because as you're reading it, you can see it in your mind.
Yeah.
If I can't see it in my mind, if I can't picture what they look like, how they walk and stuff, I don't finish. I'm like, nope, sorry, not this
Mhm.
book.
And there were always touchstones in each of the versions that they would always be there. Every version of The Hitchhiker's Guide will, of course, have an Arthur Dent, and a Ford Prefect, and a Trillian, and a Zaphod Beeblebrox, and a Marvin the Paranoid Android. Every single version will have those 5 characters. Every single version will end up, at some point, arriving at Megalothea. And will at some point have the restaurant at the end of the universe.
Hitchhiker's
No.
Guide.
Yep. How they get to the restaurant at the end of the universe changes drastically. So, for instance, in the radio drama, they're in Megalothea, the police show up, the police start trying to apprehend them, start shooting, they shoot a computer bank that explodes, and the explosion from the computer bank at Megalothea, which is a world that is designed to make other worlds, so ridiculously high-tech shit, ends up tossing them to the end of the universe. To the point where existence is going to collapse. And they get tossed there. That's how they end up there. In the book, Marvin the paranoid android ends up talking to the police ship because they still end up at Megalithea. The police still show up at Megalithea as well. They try to apprehend them. The police end up dying at Megalithea because Marvin the paranoid android, who is this just depressing creature, talks to the police ship to the point where the police ship wants to get out of the conversation by any means possible and commits suicide from talking to Marvin the paranoid android, immediately killing the police. I just blanked on the term. Life support system. So the police drop dead as well.
I have a summary, of the second before Earth is demolished to make way for Galaxy
The new hyperspace bypass.
What?
It's the new hyperspace bypass.
Well, yeah, but this is what the summary says. Second before Earth is demolished to make way for the Galaxy Freeway, Arthur Dent is plucked off the planet by his friend Ford whatever.
Prefect.
Researcher
Prefect.
for the... It says researcher, yeah.
Yep.
Look, I had to relearn to read, okay?
Yep.
To revise education of the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, who for the last 15 years has been posing as an out-of-the-work actor.
Yep.
Together, this dynamic pair begin the journey through space, aid by quotes from Hitchhiker's Guide. A towel is about the most massively useful thing an installer hitchhiker can have. And a galaxy. Oh, all right. Now it's Super Beboppers, the two-headed, three-armed
Zaphod Beeblebrox.
ex-hippie. Well, I'm glad he was an ex-hippie. Total out to lunch president. Hey, we have one of those. Trillion.
Only Zaphod Beeblebrox is a cool one.
It sounds interesting.
Yeah, it is a fantastic sci-fi series that is absolutely ridiculous, and it is meant to be absolutely ridiculous.
I think it's considered a trilogy in 5 parts or something.
Yep.
And they had their 5 books.
Mm-hmm.
But I prefer the Dirk Gently series myself a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
That version of humor sits with me more.
Right, Sora, you need to repeat it.
You do know something about series, don't you, Sora?
You want to start that again, Adam?
Let's go.
It's bad enough that Harry already pimps her out and makes her read Smut. Bad Harry.
That's
Yeah.
fun, though.
Who has COVID over there?
I hope you're wearing a mask
I had it
during
a month
our
and
meeting.
I had it a month and a half ago. Just no, my juice went down the wrong way.
Yeah, that was, you know.
Hey, I had it early January too.
And I just have to point out that Sora just said that it's fun when Harry pimps her out.
Yeah, did you just see how that deflection came out there? How COVID just has so happened to come out when Sora drops some info. There you go.
Hey,
That's how the news
you know
works
what?
there, ladies and gentlemen. That's how they work you.
She's living under a tyrannical. Yeah, that's the word.
Oh, what?
Hopefully that's the word.
Tyrannical.
Government. Right now-
Not tyrannical.
Are we
Hey,
in
hey, hey!
Jurassic Park?
We
Words.
have freedom as of today. Having to show your vax passport to restaurants and stuff has been abolished. I was like, wait, hold on, what's it called? Vax pass? Yeah.
Do you still have to wear a mask?
Oh,
No. Only in medical medical facilities.
Oh, so
So
you
I
have to
do at work.
wear one
So
all
I do
day.
at work. Yeah. So nothing has changed for me there. But you can go into stores and stuff without a mask, and
And you can go to restaurants without showing that you're vaxxed?
as of today, yeah.
Woohoo! There's
I
hope
think
for you yet.
we're like 90% first shot. However, people are already getting their text message for 4th.
I can't have any of them, so please get vaccinated so it doesn't work and I'm protected.
There you go. I'll protect you from over here.
I need her.
I've got 3 of 4. I don't feel like yeah.
I think
I don't really want to catch them all.
Pokemon.
Woo!
I mean this as nicely as I can, but it needs to be treated like the flu.
Sure. Once a year.
It's worse in the winter. You get
Yeah.
a shot. You know, the flu shot doesn't always protect you from the flu because there are so many strands. But it's the well, I'm protected effect. Of course, the COVID vaccine works great, and everyone should have it unless you have a medical reason. So get vaccinated. Susan says so.
Thank God for Ultimate Dr. Susan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't feel like being the reason the channel gets a strike.
No.
Yeah, I've been biting my tongue when it comes to the
How
pandemic because-
about them Disney Corporation and not being problematic?
I mean,
There's that for a
No.
segue.
Woo! Best
17
segue ever.
You mean there's 17 employees caught in a single day, in a single afternoon, in a single pedophile sting?
Yes.
Wait, is that real or are you messing with us?
No,
Is that-
that's
17
very
Disney
real.
employees were caught in a single pedophile sting one day,
That was a horrible
one
switch.
afternoon.
I'm grabbing
Pardon
the
my
wood. I'm
French,
grabbing the
but
wood
what the
chipper.
fuck?
I'm grabbing the wood chipper.
Mhm.
I'm making a run to Home Depot. Anyone else need anything?
I take a wood
Ooh.
chipper. I'm
Those
sorry,
cable
but
things that you attach to a car battery.
Yeah,
It's- they had a sex trafficking ring going?
So 17 Disney employees were picked up in a prostitute. I can't remember if it was an underage prostitution sting or if it was just a pedophilia sting, but it was one of those two in a single day by the police. They aren't
Well-
the only ones that have been arrested when it comes to that, because there were also, other than those 17, there were, I think it's 36 total Disney employees in the past 2 to 3 years have been arrested for charges involving pedophilia.
What were they
So-
doing? Picking out
so-
children at the park?
So this
Um,
particular one says that 108 were arrested, which includes a former judge and Disney employees in a human trafficking sting in Florida.
Yep.
Fabulous.
And in this particular, this is from March, included at least 4 Disney employees.
At least 4 Disney employees, and then you cut out for a moment.
Uh-oh.
You said at least 4 Disney
Sorry.
employees, and then you cut out for a moment.
Oh, that were caught in this thing, but beginning of March.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that no longer sounds like the happiest place on earth.
Yeah, one of the people that was picked up I remember his title because it was one of the, oh, that, yeesh. Because his title was the lead of child engagement for Disney cruises.
Huh.
Gross.
And he was picked up trying to have sex with what he thought would be a 14-year-old.
So
The fact that they were against the anti-grooming bill makes a hell of a lot more sense now, doesn't it?
you mean the don't say gay?
100%.
Yeah, the anti-grooming bill.
More like don't let teachers talk to your 5-year-old about sex bill.
Yeah, I don't know why a kindergartner to third grader needs sex ed from their teacher. Like,
Let me tell you something.
no, there's like no reason. They're
My-
learning how to tie shoelaces.
My 5-year-old, he is just learning how to ride a two-wheeler.
Mm-hmm.
And how to eat with a fork. Well, he's beyond that, but you get what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
And then Ron Perlman's just going on a freaking rant calling DeSantis a Nazi about it.
Yep.
Dude, he took a deep dive in the shallow end of the pool with that take. What's wrong with Ron Perlman?
Yeah, he called him a Nazi because he said that the bill is the don't say gay bill. You're a fucking leader in the United States. This is the fucking United States. The First Amendment, maybe you heard of it. It never says don't say gay. Nowhere in the bill. You can
No, that's
do
just
a
marketing.
word search. Yeah.
I took my kids out of public education years ago for what they did to Tommy. But let me tell you something. With critical race theory and all that, hello, new person. I'd take them out quicker than their head would spin.
Hey, everybody. Hey, everybody in chat.
Hello.
Howdy,
Hello.
howdy.
Hola.
I think this is the first time that you've been on one of my nights. How you doing, man?
I think so. I've been lurking around. I've been lurking and sneaking around.
Ooh, I love your accent.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
But yeah, you jumped in at the point where we're talking about the Disney pedophiles and the don't say
Yeah, I
gay.
know. That's,
Well,
yeah.
More accurately, the anti-groomer bill.
Yeah, the don't say gay bill that doesn't say don't say gay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, actually read the thing. Yeah.
Oh, they haven't read the Green New Deal, whatever it's called, bill, and it's only 5 pages.
Yeah, and
I love how no one voted for it, even all the Democrats just voted present, so it wouldn't be counted as a no.
Yep. And the thing is that the anti-grooming bill is only 2 pages longer.
Yeah, it's like 7 pages. It's not that long.
It's 7 pages, and I've read all 7 pages.
Mm-hmm.
It's only 7 pages, but how many brain cells do they have? That's the question. Can they keep up with 7 pages?
Put them all together, 3.5.
I was going to say they have half that and then round down, so I was close to what your guess was, Jenna.
We're connected by, telekinesis or something like that.
The Dane Bramage.
The Dane Brannage, yeah. It's not my fault my head went through a windshield the wrong way.
Not my fault I broke a helmet on my head.
I fell down and I couldn't get up.
Life alert.
That's happened to me a few times. The first time, it's kind of funny when your family jokes about it. By the third time, you want to kill.
Oh, yeah. I fell down and it took me like 5 minutes to get up.
It's the decision of, do I try to get down on my knees so that I can get up and pull myself that way, but then because there are screws around my knees, it breaks it. Or do I just let someone just lift me up and it hurt everywhere?
Oh, I've had to make the choice between, do I try to get up and walk or do I just fucking crawl? Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I could crawl. My knees break so easily, though.
Luckily for me, even with the amount of abuse that I've put my bad leg through, it is still a hell of a lot stronger than it has any right to be.
I could cut your leg off and it would still be more powerful than any leg ever before.
Well,
It
Jenna,
would still do everything you wanted it to do.
you saw what abuse I ended up accidentally putting that leg through not long ago, right?
No.
I was at work and I was in a chair and I kind of tossed myself around while I'm sitting in the chair and loading and unloading instruments. And as I'm doing this, I have a massive brain fart and I forget that static friction is greater than sliding friction. And if I throw myself down a aisle of instruments hard enough, the static friction of the chair will keep the chair standing still and just cause it to dump as the inertia is overridden at the top part, but will toss my ass several feet away from the chair. So I go to toss myself down one of the aisles. I grab onto two of the support columns, just kind of snap my arms back and push off with my right leg. Due to that, I just get launched out of the chair as the chair flips forward, slams head of the chair down into the ground, just falling over behind me. As I realize this, 4 feet flying through the air away from the chair, that my right leg is too far back. It can't do shit at this moment to stop me from sailing down this aisle. So the only option that I have is to try to catch myself with my left leg.
Did
And
you
I
do the splits?
Dump down in kind of this weird one-legged squat position. Kind of like a sumo stomp.
Mm-hmm.
And my forward momentum immediately snaps to halt. And my right leg is able to get into position that as I kind of rock forward and then rock back from this one-legged squat, I slam down in just a deep squat between my two legs. My left leg ate that entire ate the entire amount of force that sent me flying down this aisle. And it was all just my left knee had to eat it because that was the only leg that was able to get down.
How broken is it?
Oh, I immediately got up, walked back to the chair, continued on my shift, and been fine since.
Dude, stop doing stuff like that.
It just, for a moment after that, my knee was just pissed.
Oh, sure it was.
But it fucking held. So I was kind of going, man, that was really fucking stupid. But fuck yeah, knee. Good job. What the hell's up with this? That's amazing. Good on you.
I'm pretty sure your parents made you in a lab.
I'm a giant dwarf. I'm just built different.
He's Deadpool.
Now I have this song for the movie stuck in my head.
I'm just picturing him flying and
just one-legged sumo stomping my way to a stop.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then your knee just bitching you out, being like, "You mother." All right, I'm
Hell.
good now.
Because yeah, Adam's the only one that has seen me in person, and he can testify to Inquisitor's description of imagine a Tolkien dwarf, make it 6'1".
I know his first name. I'll sell it to you for $2.89.
Well, I got up one night and I was going to the bathroom,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes my whole left side goes out on me,
Mm-hmm.
and it did that night. And I fell and I tried to crack my skull open.
Don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it wasn't good. I woke up on the couch and didn't know how I got on the couch.
Oh,
Ouch.
no.
Yeah, I had a big yellow and purple spot on my forehead, and one of my eyes was black. And yeah, don't do that. That's not fun.
To date,
Yeah.
the only bit of memory loss that I've ever suffered from a head blow was the time I broke a football helmet.
Fair enough.
And then wanted back in the game.
Yeah,
No, that
I don't
wasn't
even know.
that
I don't
hard
even know if I
to
got to the bathroom that night. I really don't. Apparently, I did because there was no mess. But
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I don't remember. I don't remember.
Goganoe, I've popped my plantaris tendon, 74% tear of my left knee's ACL, ripped 2 muscles from the bone in my right shoulder, and had the head injury where I put a full thickness crack that was 2.5, maybe 3 inches long in the top of my football helmet.
Shoot. I had a buddy that played soccer, got a soccer scholarship to go to college, and ended up messing his knee up, and he had a torn whatever. He tore one of his knees up, and that ended his career.
It was
That
probably
sucks.
either the ACL or the MCL.
Mm-hmm.
That
Something
stinks
like
though,
that.
because his ride was gone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I went through a windshield, and then over a car, and then over another car, and a car, and then skidded,
Ooh, wow.
and then asked the EMTs for a ride home.
You were also hitting on the EMT from one of the times that you told me.
Yeah, don't take me to the hospital. Just take me home. I'll be fine.
I said to them, I don't need to go to the hospital, but I don't feel well enough to walk home. Could you give me a ride?
Nice.
I'll just rub some dirt on it. Yeah, I'll just rub some dirt on it. It'll be fine.
I only had 4 compound fractures, a cracked scale,
Mm-hmm.
collapsed lung, an artery cut in half. I was fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're good.
And Kokinoe, I've cracked my skull open twice after the skull incident. I'm very tolerant of pain.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm not-
You've had a lot of practice from the sounds of it.
Yep. I'm not sure that any of my injuries can relate to my tolerance of pain personally. But if that's your scaling, I can understand why that would happen.
Yeah.
Oh, when I hit my head, my vision actually got better.
I cleared my shiny.
If you just snap the TV, it'll pick up a signal better.
You reset the ocular nerve.
Yeah.
There we go. There were probably better ways you could have done that didn't involve a concussion, but it worked.
Yeah. Whatever works.
bit of Dane Bramage never hurt anyone, right?
Oh, no. We've all got some.
Yeah.
I
I
still
wasn't ever
just love.
supposed to speak or write, and I do both a lot.
I still just love how many different fucked up jokes there are about head injuries and brain damage from football, because it ends up with being concussed rather than a full concussion. And you end up with Dane Bramage being said a fuck ton in football.
Oh, sure. I never played football. I wrestled in high school.
Ah. Hopefully you're
Yeah,
able to
that.
avoid the cauliflower ear.
Well, I did my best.
My kids play rugby. They don't play football, but they play
Rugby's
rugby.
fun.
I think
played
it's
rugby as
safer
well.
than football. I know that sounds,
Oh, no.
but
It-
it's safer.
It makes perfect sense. And it's something that I have said before, that the amount of pads that we wear in football increases the chance of head injuries. And that sounds weird to people that don't know. Because you're going, how the fuck would wearing a helmet increase the chance of head injury? It's because there are moves that some people do that if they weren't wearing a helmet, they would never fucking do. It's the same way that once we got boxing gloves rather than bare knuckle boxing, the rate of concussions and brain injuries in boxing skyrocketed. Because when it comes to boxing, that's an easy example. A lot of people can see how this would happen. When your hand is padded, it's a lot easier to punch someone in the head and not break your hand. So
Here's
before the hands were padded, you would work the body a lot more, and you would avoid punching in the face and punching in the head, because you do it just slightly wrong, your hand's fucked and you're out of the fight because you've just shattered your hand against someone's forehead.
Yeah.
Add a bit of padding, and now suddenly you're able to go for the face a lot more. Which means that you're hitting someone in the head, and that's rattling their brain around. In football, you're not wearing a helmet. You aren't going to slam your head into someone's chest.
no.
You
Well,
are
they
wearing-
did have those leather helmets. Those were helpful.
Nice. But if you're wearing a helmet, then you're going, yeah, my head's protected. And you have assholes that will spear people when they're tackling. You'll have assholes that spear with their head when they're blocking. So there's two things that could be done to rectify this. One is you start stripping back the amount of protective equipment,
Or
and
you
you'll
put your kids
decrease
in
the
rugby.
chance. Or you train that shit out of a person. My football
So-
coaches went for the train that shit out of people approach.
Here's a question: Muhammad Ali. What he had towards the end of his life, was that caused by the boxing, or was that
I forget, did Muhammad die of ALS or did he die of just general rattled?
I think he had Parkinson's.
I thought
Let me
it was
quickly double check.
Parkinson's too.
Yeah.
But I wonder if all the blows to his head helped. I mean,
I'm sure it didn't help, but I don't think physical trauma would cause Parkinson's.
Yeah, it doesn't cause Parkinson's. If it was ALS, then there is a theorized link between ALS and sustained concussions,
that makes sense.
which is
Um,
why I, for the longest period of time, phrased it that when I was a freshman in high school, I accidentally future killed someone, or rather someone accidentally future killed themselves on my head, because one of my head injuries, I didn't get knocked out. The other person knocked themselves the fuck out on the side of my head. So if there is this link of ALS and that, they might have contributed to getting ALS later in life.
You'll be getting a call in 30 years. All right, we're suing you.
They can't sue me. He headbutted me. I didn't headbutt him.
I
Fuck
know,
that
but people are so
motherfucker.
sue crazy.
Yep.
You know, Robin Williams, he died from, well, suicide, but I watched this documentary his wife and his doctors did, and I can't remember the name of it. They thought he had Parkinson's. It turned out he didn't. He had Maxell, something dementia, and it was very interesting. When they did the autopsy, they said they had never seen a brain in such advance of whatever the name of it, dementia was, and that the last 2 years of his life, his left hand he had no control over, and he would put it in his pocket or whatever, or he would see things that weren't there. He would question his ability. He'd worry that he screwed up a scene, and he would call directors or people in the movie 15 times in a night saying, "Are you sure that was good? Are you sure that was all right?" And it really was completely out of his control. This man must have felt like he was losing his mind. And the further it got to when he committed suicide, the deeper it got. And he had a hard 2 years left to right of life.
Are you thinking of glioblastoma? Was that the word that you're trying to think of?
I don't know.
I was trying to figure out the word.
I hate giving facts, but not being able to tell the first part, you know.
Yep.
Oh man, Robin Williams was so fucking funny back in
He
the day.
was
I miss
great.
But
that
he
man.
he was coked up like a motherfucker.
Oh,
I mean, he was totally coked up.
Louis body dementia.
Okay, Lewy body dementia.
Oh, okay.
And look it up. It is terrifying.
Because there's some stuff about him on YouTube, and you can go find it. There's his comedy skits and all that other good stuff. And man, he would run out into the crowd and just riff because he was so coked up. Yeah.
Yeah. The thing is, he was funny when he was clean too,
Oh yeah.
but he didn't sweat as much.
That's true.
Yeah, cook sweats are their own thing.
But
Mhm.
No
when he was
idea.
on alcohol and coke, I'm sorry, Gabby, what?
I just said I had no idea that cocaine made you sweat. What?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You get coke sweats because it just makes your body go a mile a minute. And anytime that your heart rate goes up. So, do you guys know what causes your body temperature to be what your body temperature is?
My rods.
The body temperature is mostly caused by friction within your body. And the main source of friction is your blood moving through your circulatory system.
Mhm.
That is what generates most of the heat for your body. Then there's also the heat released from chemical reactions happening within your body. That also generates heat. But a large portion of it is the friction within your blood vessels. So as your heart starts to beat faster, it warms you up because it's causing everything to move faster in your blood vessels, which causes more friction, which causes an increase in temperature. And a good chunk of the time this happens when you're exercising or doing something along those lines. So you're chewing up energy as well, which is kind of why you feel warm after going for a run. It's not just that you got your blood circulating a bit more, but that blood circulating a bit more has actually warmed you up more. So if you have something that increases your heart rate sufficiently, you end up warming up. Cocaine increases your heart rate. You end up warming up. If you warm up to a certain point, your body goes, we're too fucking warm, cool off, and you start sweating.
Did he go out for anyone else?
Did I cut out for anyone else? Or did everyone else hear me?
I heard you.
My
Yeah, I heard
internet is cutting in and out, so I can't help with that, Jenna. Sorry.
Okay, so I think it was Jenna's internet might have cut out for a moment there as well, because Gabby and Clockwork both said that they could hear.
Yeah, I heard you fine.
Okay.
I mean, my heart beats too fast, but my blood pressure is too low, so it kind of balances out. So.
Yeah, if you have a low blood pressure, then your heart will have to beat faster in order to maintain proper oxygenation.
When I get in an OCD moment or an OCD moment, if it gets bad and I can't get ahead of it,
Mm-hmm.
I sweat like a heroin addict.
Yep.
And it drives me crazy because if I have a panic attack or an OCD moment in a store or something, everybody looking at me, heroin addict with all those kids.
Yep. See, what you need to do is you just need to get the recording of my calming trick.
I have the recording of your. I need to put it on my phone, not just my tablet. So in the middle of TJ Maxx, I can listen to it and go, breathe.
Yep. And if anyone is wondering, calming trick, what the hell? I was an EMT for a period of time, and I had a approach that I would use anytime that I was dealing with someone who had a panic attack. And I mentioned this one night on stream when Jenna and Jason were both on, and they both said that I needed to record it and put it on my channel so that other people could gain access to it if they so needed it. So on my channel, there's the EMT calming trick video.
It works.
And it's just me explaining what it is and then going through it. And it's just... The gist of it is one of the things that happens when someone's going through a panic attack, they feel like they have absolutely no control. And they start to think that no one has any control, which causes them to feel like everything's going completely crazy. It's all going to go wrong. What the hell's going to happen? And they start spinning themselves into a cycle.
It starts looping.
Yep. It's a positive feedback loop.
Yep.
So one of the things that I figured out that really helped calm them down was when I sounded bored shitless. When I just sounded like, yep, this is completely normal. Just listen to my voice. Everything's completely normal. Okay, we're going to just get you to breathe here. And I would go completely monotone. I'd go calm as can be. And I'd just start walking them through breathing, telling them when to inhale, when to exhale. And I would count off their inhales, count off their exhales, and just every time that I count off the inhale, count off the exhale, I would slow it down a little bit. And I'd tell them just to focus on me, just to focus on my voice. Nothing else exists but you, me, and my voice. Just listen to my voice. And I'd walk them through breathing, slowing it down, walk them through exhale, slow it down, walk them through breathing, slow it down, exhale, slow it down, just listen to me, just listen to the sound of my voice. And I'd just do that for a few cycles, and I'd be able to talk someone down from hyperventilating into breathing at a slow and controlled rate again.
And in the few cases that doesn't work, Seroquel or Klonopin are a great substitute.
Yep.
because sometimes you need both.
Yep. But yeah, that's what
Although-
I mean by my EMT calming trick.
Although, if you're not prescribed Seroquel, do not take it.
Yep.
It will fuck with you. Excuse my French.
But yeah, that's what the EMT calming trick is, and that's what I just recommended that she should put on her phone.
Well, there's some people you need to just hit with a shot of Thorazine.
Oh yeah, it does depend on how effectively hardwired the panic is. And it depends on how far along the process the panic is.
Yeah.
Because if you're in full, you can't even focus on someone speaking to you panic, then the calming trick will have minimal effect. If you're getting into my breathing's going really fast, I can't calm down, what the hell's going on, and you start listening to that, it can snap you out of that cycle.
And it's important that you try to catch it before it gets out of control, because it just is so much worse once meds get involved. And
Yep. Just like every medical issue, the earlier that you can catch it, the better.
Mm-hmm.
Well, sure. Okay, let me do this.
Mm-hmm.
Do what?
He just flipped over to camera.
Stroking his beard.
Yep.
There, that's a little better.
Nice. Very nice beard.
Ah, thank you very much.
Yeah, mine is
how long
about,
did it take you to grow that?
It took about 4 months. I'm still working on it. I'm Gandalf's little brother. So
Your
Yeah,
I'm
what?
working on it. Gandalf's little brother.
Oh. I was like, you're giving it to your little brother? I don't think it works like
No,
that.
no, no.
entirely different phrase there. Yeah, my beard is down to about 1.5 inches, 2 inches below my nipple line, effectively.
But is yours blonde?
Mine is ginger.
Really?
Ginger? You've got a ginger beard?
Yeah, I have the partial dominance of brown hair on top and then that ruddy ginger.
So does that
Uh,
mean you have half a soul?
I've heard that claim before, yes.
Oh,
A friend of mine from university, he's half Scottish, half Chinese.
Yep.
He's white,
Mhm.
like white. Can sometimes burn, but he's too much of a nerd. Like he works with computers and reads all the time, so he
Never
doesn't
see
go
the
out
sun.
enough to really see the sun. But not sickly, just white, And he's, brunette, darker eyes, dark hair. And should he ever grow whiskers, they are blindingly ginger.
Yep.
It is fascinatingly funny. I love it.
He's-
It's like, you should grow it out, just freak everyone. He doesn't like the look, but it is ginger. And I was like, I love genetics. This is fantastic.
The
An abnormal-
Chinese, Scottish, ginger.
Yep.
That is awesome.
It's
Mhm.
an abnormal presentation of the genetics because
The dad is the Scot, the mom's Chinese.
Yep. For anyone that knows the genetics of red hair is called a super recessive trait. Because
oh yeah. If you don't have any Irish in you, you don't have red hair.
effectively,
Scottish.
you have to be Irish, Scottish, or Northern European in order to have a chance of red hair effectively. And the thing is that it's a super recessive trait. So blonde hair is a recessive trait. If you have a brown hair gene and you have a blonde hair gene, your hair is going to be brown.
Hmm?
Red hair is recessive to blonde hair even. So if you have a blonde hair gene and you have a red hair gene, your hair's going to be blonde. Sometimes you might end up with a strawberry blonde, but more often than not, it's just straight blonde.
I have cousins who are identical twins, and they're redheaded.
Mm-hmm.
All of their siblings are blonde. There are 6 of them.
Yep.
So Beth and Emma are redheaded, and Mary Kate, John, and the other 2 are blonde.
The other
I darn it,
What's funny as hell.
David and the baby,
Oh.
who's 23 and not a baby,
But does he remind you of is he the babe
Look,
with the power? And does he remind you of voodoo? Hoodoo? You do. You remind me of babe. But yes, the
I
babe
have
with
to
the
put
power.
my
What
own
power?
kids' names straight. That's hard enough, okay?
Yep.
Do you know how often I go, Carl, Landon, Gavin, Owen, Eric?
But yeah, when
Grant.
it comes to red hair, there's the rare occasion of what's known as partial dominance, which is you'll have the red hair gene, like I said, is normally super recessive, but you can have it end up being expressed despite there being another hair color gene, but it tends to be expressed in not head hair, but facial hair. So you'll have someone with dark black hair and a red beard, or dark brown hair and a red beard, or blonde hair and a red beard, and that's called partial dominance.
Now,
Because-
Oh wait, let me show you the werewolf. Hang on. Turn the cam off for a second. God damn it. There we go.
Mhm.
Oh. Go ahead. Continue.
But
I didn't
you were
mean to
saying, Jen?
interrupt.
2 brown-eyed people that have a blue-eyed child.
That is just standard recessive trait. So blue eyes is recessive to brown eyes. So if you are, well, if your genotype is a heterogeneous genotype, then you have 1 brown eye, you have 1 blue eye. If you have that, then you'll end up with just brown eyes. If you have homogeneous blue, then you will end up with blue eyes. But if you have it, I think blue eyes, I can't remember if blue eyes is recessive to green or if green eyes is recessive to blue. But whichever one it is, one of them's more recessive than the other. So you have the recessive dominance hierarchy for each of the genes. And you have that for eye color and you have that for hair color as well. And then you also have
Blue eyes are really recessive and green eyes are totally recessive. So
Yep.
if you've got green eyes, then yeah.
My daughter, who's from
There you go.
Afghanistan, has green eyes.
Nice.
She has the dark skin and all that. What the heck?
That's my werewolf.
Mhm.
Oh,
Taking on my werewolf form.
okay.
Yep.
But Lori has green eyes, and
That's the type of hair like nowadays. Like I think it's on trend. Like the wool. What was it? It's like I think it's just actually called the werewolf cut. People spend a lot of money for it.
Oh shit, I just let it grow. I didn't spend no money on this at all.
You accidentally ended up trendy.
I stumbled into it.
But yeah, there's I think it's Persian descent has a high rate of green eyes. So if you have Persian descent rather than Arab descent, you have a high chance of being green-eyed.
I don't
And
know.
then-
She lived in a cave till she was 4.
Yep. And then when it comes to blue eyes and green eyes are both extremely common in Ireland as well.
Here's something
Yeah,
weird.
that's my background. Irish and German. So
I
that's
didn't
why I
find
have
out.
blue eyes.
I didn't find out I had green eyes until I was 24. I had brown eyes on my thing, and I was at the eye doctor's, a specialist, because of the brain
Oh,
damage.
do you have the color changing eyes too?
Yeah, and they're like, you don't have brown eyes, your eyes are green. And I was like, no, they're not.
Yep.
I'm green-eyed.
Yeah, I have the color shifting eyes as well, where they shift between blue, green, and then like a real light hazel.
I've never...
Oh, I dated a girl whose eyes would go from blue to green depending on her mood.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's kind of similar to mine. Just lighting and like my temperament at the time.
Lighting,
cool.
temperament,
You have
and typically
mood,
what you wear as well. Mood stone
Instead
eyes.
of mood range, you have mood eyes.
Yep.
That's cool.
I got brown eyes.
I had brown eyes.
Don't we all?
Till I was 24.
You said that in the perfect "I got a rock" tone.
Adam, what color your eyes?
That's how it feels. I
Adam
don't even have the yellow eyes of my grandmother, or there's green eyes somewhere. Also on my maternal side.
Mm-hmm.
That's brown.
Adam
They're
hasn't
fine.
said anything in a while. Do you think he's asleep?
Adam might
might
have
be.
zonked out.
He's still there.
Nope, he's not zonked out. He's still conscious.
Buddy.
Adam, we
He's
missed
still
you.
this side of the pillow.
Adam,
Adam.
Well,
Adam.
you know, just trying to find a way to jump in with all of these eye comments. So, you know.
So what color are your eyes? Do you want to share, Adam?
I think they're brown.
Yep.
Why did that sound like a question? Brown?
Because I don't look at my eyes.
Yeah, I was about to say, how often do you look at your own eyes?
Yeah. It's a trait that you have. I don't
Where I
know.
apply eyeshadow and mascara. Like it's like you
True,
know.
that is a question that doesn't work as well against women, isn't it?
Yeah. Well,
that's
you
not
know,
true. I don't wear makeup.
Me either.
Not because of
Same.
any reason that I never did.
Well, I
You don't
wear
do it,
makeup,
you don't
but
either?
you don't really need a mirror to apply a whole bunch of white paste. Oh, waka waka. No, but
Did anyone else immediately get an image of Adam being part of the KISS army?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I was like, "Are you in a Kiss tribute band?" Yeah.
I was thinking KISS army, and then almost immediately after thinking KISS army, I went, or it could be worse. He could be a juggalo.
Well, yeah. it
hey,
could.
what's wrong with juggalos?
He's a
Magnets.
mime.
How do they work?
do they
I'm
work?
sick of scientists always fucking lying to us.
Hey, you know, the first drug dealers that I ever had, the first guys that I bought, I can't say drug because, you know, it's still variety, but the first,
It was nice knowing your channel.
Yeah.
there you go. the first person I bought weed off of was a juggalo, and they seemed
By
pretty
week
on
he
the
means
up.
oregano, and that's because he's a chef.
No, well,
Yeah, I was getting ready to ask, was it any count? Did it
Well,
get you?
well, I think we're allowed to talk about it since wasn't it legalized?
legal.
Federally? Yeah, so.
It was
But-
federally decriminalized, I think.
Yeah,
Dude,
so
my-
The House
dude.
voted on it, and yeah, it was decriminalized in the House. And now it's got to go to the Senate.
Yeah, and
I don't think they're gonna be too upset about some schmuck talking about Juggalo selling him weed.
so
Yeah,
did
but
you
I'm
find
gonna
out that they
nag
were a
you.
juggalo because they were drinking Faygo, or how did you find out that they were a juggalo? Did
Well,
they come
'cause-
up in full face paint?
No, because they talked about it.
Okay.
Adam,
It was one of those things. What? Yeah.
buy your drugs safely. Don't go
well,
to juggalos or
I
guys
wore
on
a
the
condom,
street.
so it was all good.
No, you could have gotten it laced with something. Do not buy drugs stupid.
They're juggalos. They're the safest people you can buy drugs off of.
That's it. I'm gonna have
April
to go.
1st was last week.
I'm gonna
That
have
was
to
last
go
week.
to where you are and help you buy your drugs from now on, so you don't go to juggalos. I have
Now
a
I
lot
just-
to do.
I just imagine the weirdest fucking hierarchy of drug dealer safety, and juggalos somehow being the creme de la creme, like they're the fucking guild of drug dealers.
They got lab coats and everything. I think they're pretty safe, and they got stethoscopes.
There's no way that they would have
What?
lab coats because they're sick
Yeah.
of scientists always fucking lying to us.
Well,
Juggalos?
no, that's how he was measuring. You know how much weed he was selling me. He was like, "Hold on, I gotta listen to this."
All right, Adam. From now on, I'm sending you your weed via mail. I'm taking over all your drug sales.
I'm not a doctor, but I play one on TV.
That's
I was
that is
really
all the training we need.
I was really worried that he was going to continue and say that they were using a sphygmometer for something.
Well, hold on, we still got a whole lot of tools to go over here. So give me a second. No, I don't.
You're never gonna get that dirt bike.
Oh, damn it. I really want that dirt bike.
You need to not buy drugs off of idiots.
That was a long time ago. I'm talking about my youth. My youth.
Yeah, he's talking about his
Really?
first dealer, not his current.
Yeah, my current guy is. Well, I don't think he's a juggalo.
His current guy is part of the KISS army.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
He just really
He dresses
likes
up like Ace. He dresses up like Ace.
It's so
So it's all
far
good.
been the
It's all
safest thing. You know, you stick with the KISS army, and you don't have any trouble. And they're pretty fair on their pricing. So
He just trades up to different fan groups that paint their faces white.
yeah.
I'm just worried he's gonna get fentanyl laced marijuana and die, and then I'll be really sad because I
How the
like
hell do
Adam.
you have fentanyl laced?
Well, you
marijuana?
can, but it's actually a bad way of doing it. Most of the time, when someone's trying to pass lower quality weed, what they'll do is they'll have glass bead laced weed so that it looks extra sticky.
Ugh, but you can notice it. You notice it. Look, as a
Given the rate of people that have holes in their lungs due to superheated glass beads, a lot of people don't notice it.
well, as a marijuana connoisseur,
Connoisseur?
I can assure you that only the finest weed of the South Farthing passes this lungs. So
Adam's
there's
out here
no way.
going to become the first weed sommelier.
Weed sommelier. Yeah, there you go.
That's it, Adam. At your funeral, I'm gonna say he didn't let me become his drug dealer, so he got killed by glass-written fentanyl marijuana.
And right after you pass that eulogy, you could show everybody to the buffet that's going over to the left, because that would have made
Is the buffet
Hey,
ghost
why is it
themed?
scared?
Is it just going to be a table full of the Halloween cereals?
it's gonna be the table full of all
Blueberries, Count Chocula,
the- Hold on, wait. What
Frankenberry,
do you mean? Isn't that like,
Buffet?
no? It's like
buffet.
buffet. What?
Yeah,
It's buffet. And why would you have a buffet with a dead body?
Because that's what you after you have a funeral, you have a feast type of. Wait.
Yeah.
Boof?
Yeah, but the
Buffet?
dead person
It's
isn't
buffet.
invited.
Like
Buffet?
Yes, like buff. It's
No,
a
it's
buffet.
not. It's not.
Yes, it is.
Like buff
It's
and
not
buffet.
Buffett, like Jimmy
slight- and
Buffett.
slightly
Buff?
right,
Yes,
Buffet?
buffet.
Work
Buffet.
out.
creative.
It's
Wait,
buffet.
are we going to Margaritaville? Wait a
It's
minute.
like you're talking about a really buff fairy. It's a buffet.
Wow.
I'm
Oh,
gonna see that.
He
from
works
now
out.
on.
Yeah, it works out. It's fucking weird to say it that way, but it fucking works.
Hey, Adam, instead of a buffet, can we have damn it, what's it called?
Smorgasbord.
No.
Wow. Yeah, aren't drawing any punches. there.
Japanese food built what's it called?
Japanese food, what?
What,
Like sushi.
hibachi or something like
Are you
that?
trying to ask
Hibachi.
for-
Can we have
Hibachi?
hibachi instead of a buffet?
I don't know. Okay, so yeah, I don't have anything on this. I honestly thought it was buffet. You could laugh and jeer. That's fine. But I'll remember this.
You
Like
can
I said,
call
I
it
just
whatever
got
you want.
mental image of a table full of blueberry cereal.
Well, maybe that's what I was imagining. Who knows? I don't know.
That's why I asked. Were you imagining a blueberry?
No, I don't like that
Filled
cereal. Who eats
Okay.
that cereal?
Were you not a fan of the Halloween special cereals?
I
No.
didn't know they did Halloween special cereals.
Oh yeah. You never found it strange that the only times that you saw Frankenberry, Boo Berry, and Count Chocula was come Halloween?
Sweetie, I grew up poor ass as dirt. We got plastic bag cereal from the bottom shelf.
Yeah, but you don't remember watching morning cartoons and
I
seeing
wasn't
the
allowed
adverts.
to watch cartoons.
I feel sorry for your childhood.
My childhood, well, okay, so when my aunt was pregnant, she lived up the street. She was pregnant twice because I have two cousins. I'd go up on Saturday mornings and watch cartoons with her, but I was 8 and 10, so it wasn't the same as. But no, my mom didn't believe in Saturday morning cartoons or cartoons.
But I mean, they existed. How
Yeah.
could she not believe them?
But she didn't, they weren't, she also wouldn't let us wear
There's
shirts
clear
that
evidence
had
of them.
sayings on them.
Yeah,
Because
okay.
we weren't.
What does
real
she have
boys.
against Dragon Ball Z? Or did you mean sayings, not sayings?
What did I say?
You said sayings.
Yes. I
I
have
was
brain
giving you
damage.
shit for. No, that isn't brain issue. That's just.
Jenny's.
No, that isn't even Jenny's. That's just Massachusetts.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
It's
But-
like if you say "ka," that isn't a issue of brain damage, other than the brain damage caused by being born in Massachusetts.
That's so
I
mean.
got run over by a car. Clicker.
That's all right. I don't think we have any Massachusetts viewers on our
Massachusetts.
show.
Oh no, wait. I'm sorry. I live in Rhode Island, apparently.
Wait, what?
Doesn't change
I-
where you were born.
I always confuse where Geo lives. So it's now been stated that I live in Rhode Island because I think New Mexico and Arizona are the same thing.
Doesn't Geo live in a mountain?
In a bubble?
I think it's more in rocks.
Yeah, gotta crack them open and see the beauty inside.
Yep.
Just like the human body.
I did that. I don't recommend it. It's not that pretty.
Oh no.
No?
But yes, we've been talking for a good while. Anyone have anything that they're desperate to get off their chests and ramble about, or shall we go around the horn for parting words? Because
Yes,
I feel like we've been
actually,
going for 3 hours.
I really wanted to talk about this bill that passed in Florida.
The gay
The
bill?
anti-groomer bill?
We
Listen.
talked about that earlier.
I have a whole lot of stuff that I need to get off my chest about this.
Okay.
Go for it.
Well, that was pretty much it.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, that was bad. That was
Clever
bad. I'm
boy.
sorry, but you're right. 3 hours in, I don't know if I have anything left.
And again,
Can I
I'm
punch
running on
Adam in
fumes,
the
that's for
throat?
sure.
Can I punch
I
Adam
am
in the throat?
No,
Only if I
will
get to
hurt
watch.
you. Be nice to
Why?
Adam.
Why would you want to punch me in the throat?
So you shut up.
Oh, because he never talks.
Oh.
but yes, let's go around the horn for parting words. Adam, do you want to go first? Since I introduced you first, anyways.
Yeah, I appreciate you letting me join the show, but
Always fun, always good to have you.
don't think that we should allow just any random people to join. You have a lot
He's
of
talking
nothing
about
there.
me.
Yeah,
He's talking about me.
Stay away from the throat
I don't
punchers.
know. He
is what
says
you're
that about
saying?
me a lot too, so
No, I'm just
Okay.
talking about this guy. So, but yeah,
This
that's about
guy
it.
over here.
It could have been worse. I could have let random Canadians join.
I
We,
also
we have a Romanian Canadian.
Yeah, that's not a very random Canadian. That's just a bog standard Sora.
I mean,
A
random's
Romanian
more than
Canadian.
welcome to come up here and become Canadian, then he would be a random Canadian.
And we could have gone much worse. We could have gone for a random Frenchman.
well, random anybody who has anything of interesting to say. I mean, that would have been a lot more interesting, but yeah, well, I don't know where you got this guy from.
Just picked him up from chat, apparently. So, Gabby, do you want to go next?
Sure, it's always a pleasure, and just talking with you in the audience, and love all your faces. Have a good weekend.
Always fun to have you on. And then Sora was next in.
Have a good night. That's it. I've run out of steam. I'm so sorry.
I'm tired too.
Sweet.
No worries.
So let's go Jenna next.
Don't let your passions kill you. Be passionate about being passionate,
Don't let
But
your
don't
beans
let
be dreams.
but don't let the passionate take over you so you don't do anything else besides what you're passionate about.
It's like you fed the entire English dictionary into a robot and then gave it a mangled, out of sorts version of my parting words, and then tried to get it to repeat my words.
Not your words.
You
but
say it so many times, and you still don't. But
Something,
let's
be
go.
passionate about what you do. Don't devour it. Don't let it devour you. That's
Much closer.
that's what I remember.
God damn, no one remembers my parting words, it seems. So let's go for Clockwork.
Oh, hey, thanks for letting me up. I
Yep,
appreciate
you're welcome.
being here. Thanks to the panel. Thanks to the chat. What else have I got to say? Oh, well, I could say something mean, but I'm not gonna. Not
Why?
this time.
And I'll leave off with one of my auxiliary parting words. That way I'm not refreshing Jenna's memory because she should know it by now, but she mangles it every time. And I'll go with your life is coin. It's up to you how to spend it. Spend it wisely. And with that, have a good night, all. The zoo is closed.
That's exactly what I
Night.
said about the passionate thing. It just I said
No,
it
it
better.
wasn't.
Spend your life
Take
on ice
care,
cream.
everybody.
Gabby, Adam, do you guys want to say goodbye as well?
Later, taters.
And
Live long
Adam,
and prosper.
Adam, you there?
Live long and prospero.
Wakey, wakey.
Adam.
You want to say goodbye, Adam?
Adam says, "See you later, alligators."
I guess he might have popped away. So I'll just leave off with my standard. Have a good night, all. The zoo is closed.